This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop. Get real.
Welcome to DBL. We got the ladies here for you, and as I'm sure many of you have heard, after an 11-day manhunt, authorities finally caught up with the Alabama inmate Casey White, who was captured alive, and the corrections officer Vicky White, who is dead from a gunshot wound to the head. A tip led to a police chase in Indiana, where ended in a couple's car crashed into a ditch. So when police approached the car, Casey reportedly said, "Help, my wife, she just shot herself." Casey is back behind bars right now and is waiting to be extradited to Alabama. Initially, police say Vicky shot herself in the car after the chase ended, but now at least one sheriff is suggesting that it was Casey who was the one who pulled the trigger. What is this, like a crazy movie?
Erica's
right?
face says what everybody's thinking.
Tell me what your reaction was to, first of all, them getting caught, and then tell me what you think of do you think he shot her? I know there's no way to know, but he said he was going out by suicide by cop. He made that very clear, and it ended up being her that was in trouble and dead.
Well, I just know last night my sister and my husband's family, his parents are in town, and my sister just looked at her phone and goes, "Ooh, they caught the Whites." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, they were in Indiana. And then she goes, "Oop." And I like waited, and she goes, "It's not good."
Yeah, it's not good.
So that's how I found out. And I don't want to be insensitive. Obviously, this woman has a family and friends who loved her. You know, I won't pretend to understand what goes through someone's mind to make such a shift in their life this way. Because
she was a day away from retiring.
Right.
A day away.
Also, there's all these other theories that are out there because apparently, allegedly, the paperwork was never submitted. So apparently that means that someone can actually benefit from her pension. Was that done intentionally or not? These are just the conspiracies, okay?
Wow, you
went down a rabbit hole. Yes, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility that a murderer might have murdered someone else? I don't know.
Yeah, if this was a whole setup. Linz,
I think the
I'm
whole
on
thing,
with Erica now. I'm like, this whole thing
I know,
was a
you
setup.
guys are about to go down a rabbit hole. I'm not joining you. But this, you know, there's so many tragedies here. I think one of them, or the biggest one, was that somebody died.
Yeah.
And then the other tragedy is just that this was a correction officer that was in good standing. Like you said, had a career where she had no marks really against her that were worth noting, right? And then how did somebody that was a murderous inmate convince her to put everything on the line and then be left dead? And so there's that. So, and then there's also the fact that the video and the way they got caught, like 2 weeks almost of having people chase you and wonder what's going on, and you stopped at the car wash?
I know. I think we have video of that.
You just wanted to get, you need to see what's what at the car wash? It seems like the most ridiculous way to get caught.
There was a tip by a civilian.
Right, and then they started following them once they found out they were in Indiana, correct?
Right.
And then found them at the hotel, and with the woman had a wig on, and so it was just like this long thing that was like, well, you dish people for almost 2 weeks, and then you're 300 miles away and you got caught at the car wash. It just was confusing to me. Not a good plan.
Someone's going to play them in a movie. I mean, this is definitely going to be a movie.
It's just a matter of who's going to get it first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Lifetime's going to get it
Lifetime,
out first.
you're on it.
People get so offended by stuff that's like so present day, and then movies come out like 6 months later about it. Like some people are like, "Oh my God, this is too," like even with COVID, people were like, "This is too on the nose. We don't want to watch a movie about COVID."
Yeah, but they brought us on this ride with them, so I want to know.
The Whites.
They wanted to get away. They didn't want to bring us on this ride, Erica.
They brought us on a ride.
We were on board.
I was on that ride.
Or not. Yeah, exactly. All right, have you all heard about this? The West's mega drought is causing reservoirs to dry up. And in Lake Mead, near Vegas, authorities are discovering human remains. One set was found in a rusted barrel stuck in the mud. Authorities believe the man had probably been shot in the mid-70s. Now, a few days later, human bones were found on a newly surfaced sandbar. A former Las Vegas mayor has suggested that what we're seeing are the secrets from Vegas's mob past coming to light, which are likely to include more dead bodies. But if you're curious to know who killed notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, the former mayor said, "Don't bet your mortgage."
Wait, why? Why? You want to elaborate?
I think they're never going to find him is the whole point. I don't know. I went on Lake Mead when I visited Las Vegas. It's a lovely area, but of course the dead bodies are in Lake Mead. It's a desert. Where else are you putting the bodies? And I'm not making light of this, but it's gangsters. Vegas is gangster heaven, mobster heaven. Where do you think they put them?
You know, Tori, I'm be honest, I had never thought about it.
Wasn't a story on the top of mind?
Not one.
Because we were in Lake Mead, and I was like, I bet you there's a lot of, and again, this is a horrible thing, but it's the lifestyle of the gangster.
And that's a ridiculous way to put it, but once you get this far away from some of the incidents that we're discussing, it's kind of like becomes like we're watching a movie as opposed to like a real murder.
Yeah.
In the last story we just talked about, or perhaps murder. You know, that's real time right now. This seems like so far away. We watch all these casino movies with the mob involved, and so it seems like another lifetime ago. So we can kind of talk about it in a way that seems like
less insensitive?
Yeah, less sensitive, I guess, yeah.
I do think it is the industry, but I also think you guys know Vegas. Vegas is like mobster central. It started that way, right? With, Flamingo. Okay, cool. Good talk. All right.
You guys know Vegas. Yes, we're familiar.
Yeah.
I've never been to Vegas.
Oh.
You haven't?
I'm joking.
I was like,
Turns out Tori is not good on the slot machines. Little addicted.
I'm pretty good at the one with the cards and the...
Blackjack?
Blackjack, there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a good luck charm.
I'm a craps girl.
Okay.
Craps
Yes,
girl, really?
I could play for hours. It's not great.
I'll sit next to you on the slots and win nothing. Coming up on DBL, actor Sean Whalen is revisiting his classic Got Milk commercial. Wait until you hear the funny story about how he got the part. And Grey's Anatomy alum Jesse Williams goes viral after a nude pic from his Broadway show was leaked. We're talking about it coming up next. Closed captioning provided by Daily Blast Live is always focused, always on cue, always ready, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Say that.
We were just talking with Joel Smart over there about craps, because craps are actually the best odds in the house. So you can play for a longer period of time using your actual buy-in money. And what I'll do is I'll play the line for a while, because if you get like a series of great rolls, you're doubling your money on that line. And then you get a little like emboldened, start putting more money on the line, actually playing the field. So yeah, I mean, I could do, like, generally you go in with whatever amount that you're going to play based on how much you're putting down. And then I could sometimes go 4 to 5 hours with just the original money, although I've probably lost a lot of winnings, but at least I'm playing with the original money, not continuing to buy.
That's fine. I thought crap. I didn't know that. They're also saying that Steve Gallagher, our audio guy, said in my ear that Lake Mead is the water source for Las Vegas.
Ew.
Right. It's the reservoir.
You're like on this Lake Mead story.
Dude, can I be honest? We were on Lake Mead, my family, taking this beautiful boat, and I just have to
Is
be
it like
honest.
a
beautiful
what else is
reservoir,
there
right?
aside from these dead bodies?
Oh, are we on Lake Powell? I think we might have been on Lake Powell, but we got lost and our boat died. And Jews, I'll be honest, we don't know how to do boats. We're not very, my dad was like.
Aquatic? Is that
we needed a goy, or like, we needed someone who knew, like a burly someone, and we were like, help, help. So we were stuck on what I thought was Lake Mead, but it might be Lake Powell. But it's a beautiful area, but yeah, the drought is climate change is causing the bodies to come up. That's what's so weird.
Well, I wanted to ask you before we run out of time, what's the maximum you would lose? I know that you and I equally don't like to waste our money.
Well,
like,
it wasn't good.
Even $1, I'll be at the slot machine like, okay, I'll put my foot down. Like,
I lost so much money that I ran to the bank, to the phone, to reach my bank to get more, and there was a sign that said, stop. If you can't stop, you need to stop, like, gambling addiction. And I was like, give me my money. It's bad. Welcome back. Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams was just nominated for a Tony Award, but everyone is talking about him for a very different reason. During a performance of his Broadway play, Take Me Out, someone took photos of Jesse nude on stage. The full frontal pics were posted all over social media and were taken during a shower scene in the play. According to the theater's website, spectators were required to put their phones in a sealed case during the show. Jesse has not spoken publicly about the leak, but he did talk about performing nude on Watch What Happens Live last night. Take a look.
Everybody makes such a big deal. It's a body.
Right.
It doesn't. Once you see it, you realize it's not. Whatever.
Your mom was like,
it's
just
a
how I
body.
left it.
Yeah. He's like, it didn't grow at all. Okay.
That's true.
But it's not. I just have to not make it
true. But on the
So I've seen this play on Broadway, and it's a wonderful play about someone coming out on a baseball team in the shower scene, and when they go nude, the whole audience goes like, whoa! I mean, it's a big moment. Is there any chance that Jesse Williams' camp leaked this?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
I just don't believe that. I mean, Jesse Williams is a serious actor. I don't know. I don't even want to support that theory because I really do believe that he's far more talented than to have to
go to this
like this.
extent.
Right.
So you think someone just kept a phone or snuck a phone in?
Of course.
Yeah.
That would be my theory over it was an internal thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you gained from that. I know he was this wasn't a surprise for a lot of people. He was on Ellen June 2021, I believe, and he said, okay, I'm doing this nude scene, I'm pushing new boundaries. I left Grey's Anatomy. So he really is pushing new boundaries. You know, a lot of people feel different ways about this photo that came out, but it's what it shouldn't be that crazy to us as an actor. You know, this is what we've seen in movies that we love. It's just part of him trying something new. And so
it's a huge part of the
I don't
play.
think it should benefit him, whether it's positive or negative. It should just be.
So I also watched a play where I think it was called, well, I have to figure it out, but someone gets nude, a woman gets nude, and it was Angela Light. She gets nude. What do you think? Is there a difference between women getting nude on stage versus men getting nude on stage? Is it more shocking to see a man?
Personally, I don't find one more shocking or more notable than the other, but I do, going back to the idea of the nudes being leaked.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm just speculating here, that if Jesse Williams wanted his nude scenes to be on a more public domain, he would have just done it in a film.
Yeah.
I mean, Broadway seems like a strange way to virally.
To get it out there.
Right.
Yeah, interesting.
And he's up for a Tony, too, so I wonder if this gets taken into consideration.
And also, I mean, that's an up close. I mean, that's a front row, second row. That's an up close person to sneak a camera in. Would you guys ever sneak a camera in?
No, it's
you just
super
gotta follow the
violating.
rules.
But people also have to remember there's so many other ways. Like now you're talking about having a phone in a case, which is what we're used to. But there's so many other ways for people to capture video. And I mean, I have a pair of smart sunglasses that just capture a photo or a video.
Because you're from 3033. I forgot about that.
And it goes straight to my phone. So yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get more savvy if they're trying to really keep things under wraps.
Yeah, Broadway and comedy clubs agreed on that. All right, coming up on DBL, everyone remembers the iconic Got Milk ads, and we've got the star from the original commercial, Sean Whalen. What did it take to book that role? Find out next.
Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate.
So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane.
They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
They are the jingles, the slogans, and the faces we couldn't get out of our head. All this week, we're looking back at iconic commercials and finding out where these stars are now. Earlier, we spoke with Sean Whalen, the star of this classic commercial from 1993. Take a look.
And that was the Vienna Wood Dance in B, one of my all-time favorites. And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. It's a tough one. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? All right, let's go to the phones and see who's out there. Hello, for $10,000. Who shot... Excuse me? I'm afraid your time is almost up. I'm sorry. Maybe next time.
Got milk.
Sean Whalen.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. You know, I did a million commercials, right? One of my things that I auditioned for and got was a Playtex panties commercial where all you saw was my butt and the front of me, and that was the audition. It was like a Polaroid, and when you walked in for the audition, there were a million Polaroids of just people's butts and front. Okay, what was your audition like, and why do you think they picked you?
Oddly enough, I just had to wear underwear as well. They had the bread and the peanut butter, and they said, spread it on there, put it in your mouth. They, you know, try to answer the question, and then they didn't really have an ending. I just shoved so much peanut butter in my mouth because I was younger and thinner, and my face was just packed with peanut butter when I did the audition. And then I did the whole bit, but at the end, when he loses, a lot of the guys got really mad, and they threw the phone, and they screamed, and they yelled, and they were so mad, and I was the only one who looked at it and kind of went, my life is a joke, you know? Everything I worked for is over. They said gave the commercial an arc, and that's why they liked it, and supposedly that's
there you go.
I love it. I love hearing like behind the scenes stories of how people actually got to part two. You did knock it out of the park, but the commercial was actually directed by Michael Bay. That's crazy. What was it like working with that guy? And I guess a lot of viewers want to know how much peanut butter and milk did you actually have to eat for that commercial?
All right, so number one, people just said, you know, Michael just doesn't like people who are afraid of him, so give him a hard time right off the bat, and he'll love that. So he walked up and said, hey, I want you to do what you did in the audition. We're going to do it over and over again, and that's what we're going to do. And I was like, okay, Sergeant, yes, sir. Whoa. Just make sure I don't get a beating, or, you know, and I just made a joke, and he just went, and he laughed, and he went back, and that was it. So that was good. And then I ate peanut butter continuously for 12 hours. Wow. I'd have four people in the I'd do a take, spit it out. Next person would give me water. I'd rinse, spit it out. Next person had Q-tips, rinse my mouth, or wipe my mouth clean. Next person handed me another piece of peanut butter, and we just went over and over and over.
Wow.
We did that all day. Wow. I mean, it was nuts. But at the end of the thing, I had like 7 or 8 canker sores. My lips were dry. And
that's
you need like
I could not eat peanut butter. I couldn't even smell peanut butter for like 3 years.
I was going to ask you, you're like, no Skippy for me. Okay, this commercial aired on repeat for years. What was the fame like, and how many people do you still get that are like, like, do you have any memorable,
especially since Hamilton?
It was called a local commercial because it was just for California state. And as soon as that aired, I would just get people over and over again. One guy was yelling at me, just going, why didn't you spit it out? Why didn't you spit it out? And I was like, it's pretend. And I'm saying it.
It's fictional.
And I didn't get a chance for $10,000.
So how did this change your life?
It changed. Well, the main thing, what was crazy, it was since it was a local commercial, I was making no money. I mean, it was very low.
I thought you were sitting on that commercial money.
Do you know? I thought you've been floating on that for a while.
Well, because it was local, and so it was like after I'd make like a few $100s a quarter after taxes and stuff. But it was seen by everybody, and one girl in my acting class came up to me and said, "Hey, you're the guy in the milk commercial." I said, "Yes," and she said, "Well, I work at Amblin Entertainment, and your life's going to change." And I go, "Amblin?" She goes, "Yeah, it's Steven Spielberg's commercial company." And I said, "How so?" She goes, "He loves that commercial, and he always uses people that he thinks are new faces." So 2 years later, I walked in and got Twister.
Not just Twister.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, maybe this commercial launched your career, but you've had quite the career as a character actor.
Yeah, I mean, it killed my commercial career. I had a great commercial career before this commercial, but I was done. I mean, there would be so much of a better story if my mouth was full of peanut butter and I was in a gutter just pouring milk on my head. It would be better for you guys. No, it really launched my commercial career. But then you always get in that thing, they're like, we want you to make funny faces and always have food in your mouth. And you're like,
DBL Nation, to keep up with everything Sean is doing, follow him on social media, especially his TikTok. It's great, at Sean Whalen Actor. Thank you, Sean.
That was good stuff.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Hey, and if you think I look the same, the old head says different.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result? Many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is connecting the dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Welcome back. We have some tips to help ease your stress and anxiety around making a fitness plan. That's today's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So experts suggest focusing on why do you want to improve your health. This will actually make your efforts less about vanity or subjective goals. Also, exercise patience. Most people will feel emotionally uplifted exactly 15 minutes and 9 seconds into their workout. Knowing this will allow you to look forward to the high of the workout versus the low that can come with starting a fitness routine. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical. Call 1-800-556-BLESS-YOU, 2089-BLESS-YOU, or visit QB.com to learn more. I didn't know about that 15 minutes and 9 seconds. I'm going to go 15 minutes, 10 seconds and be done. That sounds really good. All right, so we have the famous pair of sunglasses.
Oh, yes.
That Erica was referring to.
So these are my
everything technology.
Yeah, well, these are my Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses. I think they're available to the public now, but basically you just hit this little button here, and now I'm recording, but I can also take a picture of y'all.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's like
crazy.
You could be creeping on anybody, and they don't. Well, I guess the little light might tell them.
And you're supposed to let people know that you're recording them. So I was
you also look
recording
like MIB.
Yeah, you
I
do.
know. I'm like,
But
I'm
woman in
waiting on
black.
different styles to come out. But yeah, I'll bring out the oculars next.
But this
I
also
got the
could be
VR
good in
thing
like
going.
a situation where you're like, sometimes when I was walking around in New York City at night, I would be like getting scared, but nothing was happening. Just people would be around, or one person or two. And if you had those and just press the button, you got automatic surveillance video.
Well, because it goes to your phone, and then but you get like 30 seconds of surveillance or 30 seconds of video. It's cool.
That's amazing. Way to go.
I have fun with it.
Way to be in the Matrix while we're sitting here.
I'm just gonna keep my sunglasses on.
You're shining too bright for
I still
this.
have an iPhone 7, so I gotta take some catching up to get up to where Erica's at.
That's true. All right, well, this is good about technology. You've heard about these deep fake videos. The technology lets you replace your image with someone else. Rapper Kendrick Lamar used it in his new video, so check out who he transformed into.
I said I do this for my culture, to let y'all know what a look like in a bulletproof Rover. In my mama's sofa was a doodle popper, hair trigger, walk up closer, ain't no photoshopping. Friends bipolar, grab you by your pockets, no option if you froze up. I always play the offense.
Whoa. Okay, aside from O.J. Simpson and Kanye, he also morphed into Will Smith and Jussie Smollett. But some adult video sites are also using the technology to post images of celebrities, well, you know.
We literally opened the show talking about Jesse Williams nude, and you're like, celebrities, you know.
That's in the prompter. I'm going to read it. What'd you guys think of the video?
I was like a little shocked. That looked so real.
Nervous, right? That's for the future.
But he's also making a statement. We can talk about that another time.
Exactly.
With who he selected to be in the video.
I was going to say that's curated very carefully. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
But you want to go back 20 years and cancel somebody for what they did? You're out of order.
I woke up and said, today is going to be a good day.
Yes. At some point, you got to decide for yourself if you're going to stand up for what's wrong or what's right.
Like, are we living in Bizarro world? Sorry, I ran out of steam there.
I have to just push back on that. I think it's an okay conversation to have. That's what really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way. I love this story.
what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A corrections officer is dead, and the inmate she disappeared with is back behind bars. The wild chase that crossed state lines, ending an 11-day search. Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? Continues with the Budweiser guy who made the "What's Up" line super famous. And special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner is back, spilling behind-the-scenes secrets from her time on reality TV. What was Donald Trump like when the cameras stopped rolling?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We've got special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You're such a well-oiled machine. Everybody works so well together, and you guys are so like sexy and funny, and you've got so much energy, and it's just great to be with you.
You know, Mary Lou, you, I feel like, are like the cherry on top. We missed not having like your perspective and everything, so you're just bringing out the best in us. We appreciate you. And Mary Lou's going to be here all week, by the way.
Right. It's like that line from, what was it, Bronx Tale, now you can't leave. Like, you're with us now. Yes, I like it.
You're not allowed to leave. So sorry. Okay, so here's a story that I can already see a lot of our viewers have an opinion on. I'm sure many of you have heard. After an 11-day manhunt, authorities caught up with the Alabama inmate, Casey White, who was captured alive, and the corrections officer, Vicky White, who is dead from a gunshot wound to the head. Now, a tip led to a police chase in Indiana, which ended after the couple's car crashed into a ditch. When police approached the car, Casey reportedly said, quote, "Help, my wife just shot herself." Casey's back behind bars right now and is waiting to be extradited to Alabama. Now, initially, police said Vicky shot herself in the car after the chase ended, but now at least one sheriff is suggesting that Casey was the one who pulled the trigger. What was all of your, I mean, you and I chatted a little bit in the green room. You had a lot to say. What was your initial thoughts when you heard this?
That he did it, no doubt. That she was the evidence, that, you know, and she could have plea bargained to like really tell the real story, and maybe there was like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. I mean, you know, I really think he killed her, you know.
I don't know. I'm going to take the other side just for the fact that I think there was some Stockholm syndrome going on, but I think she knew she could never have her life back. Now she was, instead of bringing the prison guard, she was the one going to prison. She gave up all of her, everything she had, all of her money, all of her retirement, everything. Now she chose this life, and now it's the end.
But
and it was kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde moment.
Like, you know, that she could have said,
Mary Lou. We don't know what history he's had on manipulating her. We don't know if he coerced her. We don't know if he blackmailed her. I mean, she took care of her mom. Apparently, according to people that knew her, her mom was her everything. Why would she leave her mom? What if he threatened her mom?
Right.
But if her mom was her everything, that's something that you would structure your life around. And there wouldn't be a place, Erica's face, for, no, you're making a face because I agree. Look, there wouldn't be a place for somebody like this to slide into your life. My kids are my everything, so I'm not going to fall in love with an inmate.
Somebody who's like mad, acting like he's madly in love with her, and she's got, you know, he's a big hunky guy and everything else. Come on.
But he didn't need to keep her quiet. He was already going back to prison for the rest of his life.
I know,
he had
but
11 days out.
So, I know.
He like had something to thank her for. I don't even think he needed to silence her in any way. That's where I'm confused.
She wanted the car clean. That's why. You know, maybe
and then also, Erica, before, and I'm dying to hear what Erica has to say. 4 guns were found. She had $29,000 left of the $90,000 from selling her home. And this was their 3rd car that they were on. What are you thinking, Erica?
Yeah, I don't think that it's exactly, you know, out of the realm of possibility that a murderer murdered someone else. That being said, I do also think about the idea of being that close with your mother, and I have made a lot of decisions in my life, not because it was going to be a detriment to me, but because I just couldn't have my mother find out, or my mother like be disappointed or hurt by my actions. So I feel like when you have that type of relationship with a parent, sometimes you make better decisions for your life because of the fear of destroying
Erica,
them.
I just wanted to say this. Oh, please.
No, please, go.
I just want to throw this at all you guys. Yes, we're talking about these two, but clearly A lot of people knew. The inmates were saying there's clearly a relationship. He was getting extra food. They just wandered out the front door. You couldn't even do that here.
Well, they didn't wander out the front door. She put together a paper that made it look like she was going to take him to a healthcare appointment.
A healthcare appointment, and then she had one after that.
Yes.
And then they found out that there wasn't.
Should there be things in place if everybody at least knows that there's something, there's a strange thing going on with this relationship? Are the other people involved, like in that office? Don't tell me the other officers weren't aware.
Yeah, but you also have to consider how common these relationships are. I don't think that this is the first time.
Escape at Dannemora.
Exactly, that there's someone who's actually incarcerated having an inappropriate relationship with someone who is supposed to be a correctional officer. So I don't know if it's that uncommon that people are like, ugh.
It's prison. I was like, where's HR?
I'm just Al backed down so easily. Erica said her great point, and then I was like, good point.
Well, she said to us he has a pattern of killing his girlfriends. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right on that too. So.
Well, I don't know if it was his girlfriends, but he's taken lives before.
Really
I don't mean to laugh at that, but yeah.
Very sad. Coming up on DBL, you guys, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Plus, Mary Lou is giving us the inside scoop on her reality TV days. What's it like working with Donald Trump on The Apprentice twice? And as we mentioned, Mary Lou is going to be here all week long. Do you have a question or a comment for her? Email info@dailyblastlive.com or find us on social media. Just search DBL.
Closed captioning provided by. Today on DBL, Erica Jane will be here live. Plus, we're continuing our series Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the Budweiser guy. That's today only on DBL.
Tell us about your time on Celebrity Apprentice.
I was just making the point. I didn't mean to laugh about the pattern of murdering his girlfriend. The fact that when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good reason why I'm wrong. That's what I was laughing at. So just for the audience out there.
Third question. So Mary Lou did not only do Celebrity Apprentice, she also did Dancing with the Stars. How would she compare the two shows? All right. Al, you have the fourth question.
All right. So do you want to talk about that prison? So can't they just test? I watched too many 48 Hours. Can't they test if there's gun residue on her finger versus his finger?
And nobody shoots themselves here. They say it was in the middle of the head. That's what I heard, to the head.
Okay.
People do this, whatever.
So I think eventually we'll find out, right? Who did it?
It's a heartbreking story.
It is very
regardless.
heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking.
Okay, but is it? And he looks a little. I hate to say this, except he's too young to play him. The bald things. He looks like Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Pete Davidson, you think could play that guy?
No, he's too young. He's way too young. But there's something about the way
that
his
guy's
head
only 30.
sits on his neck.
Or Pete Davidson's pretty young.
Yeah. Pete Davidson is 28, 27.
I mean, is this going to be the things I know it's Jeff's issue?
And that guy's only 38 or 39.
Is he? Really? But he's got to be tall.
Get a prisoner?
Like 55.
No, she's in her 60s. He's 38.
That's what I'm saying. He's 38, she's 54.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live a hard life.
Yeah.
I know. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, it is. And I love Pete Davidson, just so you know. I love Pete Davidson.
Yeah, but he's only 10 years younger than that guy.
Yeah, he's too young. But I'm saying that would be a good part. There's time.
All right, it's day 2 of Mary Lou Henner Week. Yes.
I get a whole week named after me.
Yes. Did you guys know that Mary Lou was fired not once but twice? On a reality show, that is.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say this, but Mary Lou, you're fired. And you are a terrific woman. Get the hell out of here. Thank you.
All right, sorry, Mary Lou. I was so excited I jumped the gun
That's okay.
on that little clip. But you got to tell us all about your time on Celebrity Apprentice, mainly my man Gary Busey.
Well, Lisa Rinna and I took turns being the Gary Busey whisperer. The Gary whisperer.
All right, you got to.
I was, and then when I switched to the other team, I mean, we'd have to do like a whole show on that craziness. But he's a lot of fun.
I'm like,
all
okay.
Right. Yeah. You're here all week.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about Andy Kaufman, we could talk about Gary Busey.
Oh, wow, I want to hear about
Yes, a lot of them, for sure. Well, it's interesting because I don't know if you had this, well, you had cameras everywhere, but you were never even allowed to go to the bathroom unless there was a camera, like we're waiting outside the door, and you were mic'd all the time. And there was this one crazy thing that happened the first time I did the show where I lost a receipt, and I thought, oh no. So I said to Carol Alt, I said, I can't find the receipt. Pretty soon, like sharks, here come the cameras, dun 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 dun, dun, and they start circling you. And I thought, Mary Lou, come on, you got that memory and stuff. So I called the store and I went, okay, it was 7:03 at night. It was the third cash register from the doorway. There was a girl in a Hawaiian shirt. And all of a sudden they went, oh yeah, we found the receipt. And then they faxed it to us. And it was like, phew, and the cameras, dun it, as they all moved away. No privacy whatsoever. But I had a blast on that show. It was crazy. You find out who you are. Wouldn't you say that about doing a reality show?
Absolutely, yeah.
You find out what you're good at. You find out who's going to but the first one we did was 21 days, and there was only one day off for the New York Marathon. So people were dropping like flies.
I could see that.
It was crazy.
Let me ask you what I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. What was Donald Trump like off the cameras?
This is what I got almost every day. Mary Lou, if I took you to Vegas, could you count the cards?
I'm like, so what was your answer?
Yeah, me too. Could you do that?
Could you? Maybe.
Ooh, we're going to Vegas.
I know. It's like, okay.
My next week will be in Vegas.
And then just to follow up really quick, because we have a lot of our viewers writing in. Apparently, Elon Musk, it was just announced that he would reverse Twitter's ban on Donald Trump. What do you feel about that?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay,
no,
that's enough.
Please, that's enough.
Okay.
That's a lot. Well, what's the deal with the pros and like how do they act?
Oh, you mean on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
that was that we just switched.
Completely different experience. But they were both really hard.
I was actually reading the question like, what does that mean? That was my fault. Sorry, producers.
Yeah. Totally different. Totally different. One is exhausting. They're both exhausting physically. I lost I'm 120 pounds, always between 117, 122. I got down to 110, 111 in like a short period of time because it was like so physical. And, it was like mentally challenging. They both were, I grew up in a dancing school. So, I'll tell you something. I sing a song in my club act because I do a show, and I do a whole tribute to Dancing with the Stars to the Kander and Ebb song called Pain. Why don't they mention the pain? And you'll see some pictures. I think I gave them some photographs because I started taking pictures of all the different bruises and everything. And I sing a line that's like, graphic content.
Uh-oh.
These were taken in while I was doing the show. It was like triage. It was crazy. People's ribs were taped. You had they didn't even show you the bad ones. Those are Derek Huff's fingerprints.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it. It was worth it because I like things to challenge myself. Bad behavior fascinates me in people, so I always like to understand the pathology of people and work with them and stuff like that. So it was worth it.
Before we go, we need to hear more about your show really quick.
Okay, I'm doing it in 5 different places over the next month and a half, and so I hope people come and see it. I'm doing it at 54 Below. I'm doing it at Fire Island over Memorial Weekend, and I'm also doing it on at Feinstein's at Vitello's in Los Angeles, and it's so much fun. Production numbers, great dancers, really fun.
That is so cool. Make sure that you guys check that out. And also coming up on DBL, Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her coming up next.
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate.
So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane.
They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't let her pretty face fool you. She's also pretty tough and says the strongest substance on earth isn't a diamond, it's actually her. Beverly Hills housewife Erica Jane joins us live. Hey, Erica. So first and foremost, we got our celebrity guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here. You got a question about Broadway for her.
Yes. So Erica, you and I not only both know Lisa Rinna, but also we both did Chicago. I was like the first person in. I know you did it. Did you have a great time? And was it always a dream of yours to be on Broadway and to play that part?
Number one, it was always a dream of mine to be on Broadway. It was such an honor to be in a Fosse show because I just love everything about Fosse. Love Lisa Rinna, love you. And so that was, yes. And that was practice. I feel like every performer should really go do a musical and then call yourself a performer because that is 8 shows a week brutality. And it is wonderful. Best time of my life.
Bravo.
Speaking of Bravo, I'm a Bravo-holic.
Well played.
The Bravo-holic on the show. So I am curious because obviously we know you from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's how us Bravo-holics do. So with everything that's going on, you know, from your personal life last season to this, are you having any second thoughts about being a reality TV star?
No, because a lot of great things have come with it as well. And I think that when you put it on balance, there have been more positive than negatives. Yes, this is a tough time in my life, but I'll get through it. And I think that there's more positive things on the horizon.
So most of the cast face some hard times this season, plus some difficult moments with each other. Is there a specific moment that maybe you regret the most?
Well, I could give you a list.
Good answer.
No, I think what I regret the most is losing, becoming frustrated and raising my voice and then not being able to explain myself the way I should. And that happens. But that's part of the game as well, and I have to roll with that. You know, I know the truth and I know what I'm trying to say, and that will come forward.
Yeah, you know, listen, we're all looking forward to see what happens. Now, who from the Beverly Hills cast are you currently friends with?
I'm friends with most of them. Yeah, but here's the thing about Housewives. Just like in life, you're closer with certain people than you are others just because you may connect on different levels. And, you know, we do have beef with each other that hopefully gets resolved. So right now, maybe I'm not so close to like 3 of them, but I'm close to the others.
I feel that. Now, it's weird. I get this question a lot because I've been doing stand-up forever. So I'm going to ask you, because everybody goes, what's your favorite city? If you had to join another housewife cast, which city would you move to? Because I know I'm going to New Orleans.
I'm going home to Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. ATL. I'm here for it.
Wait, you joining Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because that's the tea.
What did you say?
Is that the tea? Give us the tea.
I said the tea because if you join Real Housewives of Atlanta, I would change my whole schedule.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, I'm born and raised in Atlanta, 0 to 18. So that's like my whole family's there, and so I would just be going home.
Yeah, and all the old boyfriends would be coming out.
the teachers.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah.
And for a viewer, let's hope so. And for the viewer, yeah.
Erica, have you ever brought this up to Andy Cohen? Do you think that you could ever make the switch to Atlanta?
You know, my life is in Los Angeles. I think Candy the other day said she gave a few people that if they could come to Atlanta, and I was one of them. You know, I don't see myself going home, but, you know, never say never. Watch me be moving next week.
I know, right? And if Candy gave her blessing, I mean,
I was going to say, if Candy's your ally,
yeah, that's
all you need.
You know what, Candy, Kenya, those women, they've been very kind to me and very supportive during this time. And so thank you to the, you know, and, you know, there have been a lot of people that have been really kind.
Well, thank you, Erica. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, you can catch the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Wednesday nights on Bravo. We'll be right back. Thanks, Erica.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result, many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Tomorrow on DBL,
Mary Lou Henner is back as our special guest co-host. She's revisiting her time as Roxy in Chicago on Broadway with her friend and co-star Ben Vereen. And we're continuing our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the longest-running Doublemint twins. That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
Welcome back. Okay, have you all heard about this? This is crazy. The West mega drought is causing reservoirs to dry up, and in Lake Mead near Vegas, authorities are discovering human remains. So one set was found in a rusted barrel stuck in the mud. Ooh. Authorities believe the man had probably been shot in the mid-70s. A few days later, human bones were found on a newly surfaced sandbar. A former Las Vegas mayor has suggested that what we are seeing are the secrets from the Vegas mob past coming to light. Yeah, which are likely to include more dead bodies. But if you're curious to know who killed notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, the former mayor said, don't bet your mortgage. That's such a Vegas mayor thing to say, right?
I think more than anything is blowing up the rumor that like they would dig ditches and bury people. I think maybe we just had some lazy gangsters. They were like, just put them in the lake, it'll be fine. It's a really weird place. I think we're gonna find a lot of guns. Yeah. I think we're gonna find a lot of abandoned vehicles, and I think we're gonna find a lot of skeletons down there, because I don't think anybody ever thought that anybody would see was at the bottom of that lake or any lake.
And jewelry. I think we're gonna find a lot of jewelry.
A lot of wedding rings.
Wedding rings, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I thought this was like not as shocking, because I would always hear things like swim with the fishes and cement shoes. Like,
oh yeah,
isn't that what that meant?
That's
we weren't seeing it in my house.
Well, maybe I just thought it was the desert, so I thought maybe they had to dig
go
dishes.
To your room, just
swim with the fishes.
Roosevelt comes out, swim with the fishes with cement shoes. Yikes! You love mob stuff.
I don't know why. I don't know what the attraction is, but I think a lot of people are fascinated with all that stuff, right? So when you see things like this, the old-time gangsters, that was Vegas. That's how Vegas kind of got introduced, right?
Absolutely.
I think it was the Stardust. It was Bugsy Siegel and his guys. I don't mean to know too much about it, but I'm really into that stuff. So even though it's dead bodies and stuff, it's kind of gross. People are like fascinated by it.
We're fascinated, but I don't think anyone is surprised.
No.
Have you always loved Vegas?
Yes, and I did Chicago there, to bring it up again. And they had to drag me kicking and screaming there, and then I got there. I had the best time. They had to drag me kicking and screaming away from it.
How long did you stay?
Vegas
I did it for the
residency?
summer with my 2 little boys. It was fantastic.
Can we see a Vegas residency in the future?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, I really appreciate it now, and it was the audiences were great and everything else. But it's pretty crazy there. I mean, it's a mentality. I've shot movies there and everything else. It's a whole different world.
I love when I'm on the plane to Vegas. I'm like, Vegas, and then 2 days later, I'm like, I'm never coming back. I hate this place.
That just means you're right.
The way home is.
And whenever you like have a private conversation with somebody, and it's like, okay, no, you don't. We say, okay, this is Vegas, baby. You know, it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, my husband went with these two. I still wonder what happened in Vegas.
It's a very relaxing man trip.
You might find it at the bottom of the river.
All right, if you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. We're continuing our Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now series with one of the iconic Budweiser guys who made that "What's up?" phrase.
Made the what now?
I tried. And Grey's Anatomy of Love, Jesse Williams goes viral. We're going to tell you why. It has to do with a nude pic.
Time it was considered our way out of the pandemic. But 2 years in, let's verify. Are we still aiming for herd immunity against COVID-19? Our sources are 2 top infectious disease doctors, Dr. Amish Indulja and Dr. William Schaffner. Diseases like polio and measles are not the public health threat they used to be because of a community immunity to them.
With herd immunity, we have viruses that are usually pretty stable, and once you get infected or get vaccinated, you have long-term protection.
However, this coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, plays by different rules.
The virus mutates in a way that gets around our immune system.
Meaning the virus changes too often for the herd's immunity to keep up.
This virus comes from a family of viruses that routinely reinfect us every year and cause 25 to 30% of our common colds. So we don't have herd immunity to other common cold-causing viruses. So it's unlikely to have herd immunity against this type of a coronavirus.
There is still power in numbers, especially the previously infected and vaccinated ones.
It's harder for this virus to be able to cause severe disease hospitalization and death at the rate that it once did, because it's increasingly running into people who have immunity against those severe outcomes.
But it will probably require reinforcing that immunity, like with vaccines.
This is a protection that we're going to have to renew periodically.
So we can verify no.
So the notion of herd immunity has been largely put aside at the moment.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. We still got Mary Lou Henner here. She's here with us all week. So lucky to have her.
Love you guys.
We love you. Okay, so Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams was just nominated for a Tony Award, but everyone is talking about him for a very different reason. During a performance of his Broadway play, we know you're no stranger to Broadway, Mary Lou.
Yeah.
So this Broadway play, Take Me Out. Well, someone took photos of Jesse nude on stage. The full frontal pics were posted all over social media yesterday and were taken during a shower scene of the play. According to the theater's website, spectators were required to put their phones in a sealed case during the show so this didn't happen. Well, Jesse has not spoken publicly about the leak, but he did talk about performing nude on Watch What Happens Live, which I know you've also been on. Check it out.
Everybody makes such a big deal. It's a body.
Right.
That doesn't. Once you see it, you realize it's not. Whatever.
Your mom was like,
it's
just
a
how I
body.
left it.
Yeah. He's like, it didn't grow at all. Okay.
That's
like,
true. But
it's not.
on the
I just
other
have
hand,
to not make it
true.
a big
But
deal.
on the
Maybe he took the picture. Maybe he
Like
said it.
Andy?
No.
Andy.
Yeah, like Jesse Williams had someone take a picture if it doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
No, do you think like this was somehow put out by his team? Is that what you're referencing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm making a joke. But,
okay.
They do collect the cell phones and they put them in little baggies and no people don't get them back. So I'm surprised that this happened. I'm actually more surprised that it hasn't happened sooner.
Right.
You know,
I think people
and maybe they want to
started taking two phones. But my question for you, Mary Lou, is you've done Broadway, so you're a perfect person to answer this. You get the script, there's a nude scene similar to this, you agree to do it. Is there a part of you that expects that even though they're going to put the phones away, that there will be a picture that leaks? Is there a part that realistically, not saying it's right, but like when you sign your name, are you saying this will probably happen?
Well, I've done nude scenes in movies, and I actually did one on stage, but it was like pre, iPhone, so that's good. But do you know that when Nicole Kidman was on Broadway, they charged extra money for the seats where you can get like a full shot of her.
Wow.
And it was a side thing, but.
Makes sense. I mean,
so maybe there's more to this story than
interesting. I also think it's interesting, Erica. There always seems to be, and this could be me painting with a broad brush. A female would react, in my opinion, a lot differently than a male. Maybe I'm generalizing.
No, I do think that in society we feel that way because we have so much experience with that, right? But I do think that Jesse's a serious actor. If I had to speculate on it, I wouldn't think that he would do this just for publicity. No. He's gotten a lot of attention for things outside of his craft already, and I think a lot of times when actors go back to, or decide to do Broadway, it's also like kind of giving them a little bit of more credibility.
Yeah.
Right. So for this to happen, I really don't believe that anyone in his camp did that. And I don't know if he's going to feel some type of way about it, but I think that kind of sucks. I feel like it's kind of.
And also, he's on Watch What Happens Live, probably knocking back a couple.
Right.
So he's like glib, and so he didn't say this after.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So former Charlie's Angels star Jaclyn Smith is getting a lot of attention over a recent post on social media. The actress, who is 76, recently posted this pic on Instagram. Wow, looking flawless, with some wondering if it's the result of good lighting, good genes, maybe a filter. She was best known, of course, for playing Kelly Garrett on Charlie's Angels. Here she is next to a photo of her from more than 40 years ago. What do you think about appearing ageless online?
Well, first of all, I have met her, and I was at a thing recently, like a couple years ago, pre-COVID. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She looks flawless. She's the kind of person that is so beautiful that when you're talking to her, you almost want to like block her face a little so you can hear what she's saying, because otherwise you're like, oh my gosh, you know, you're so beautiful. Right. You know. Wow. So yeah, she's, you know, but who cares? She definitely has good genes, and that's a good filter.
I know, she's great.
Is it wrong to want to look your best?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like now we're just kind of going after a certain demographic of people that are a little bit older and asking them questions about if they've had enhancements, asking if they've had surgery. But like, we don't ask a 31-year-old that or a 26-year-old that, especially when it seems like there's money behind them. And if they want to get that, have at it.
I hear you, but we do comment on the Kardashians. We do comment on people over-filtering that are in their 30s, and I will always stand by that. I think if you do over-filter, that's fine, that's on you, but I think that there should be some sort of, I know they do this in other countries, like a logo or something that shows it's been filtered, so our teens understand that this unrealistic image is not attainable.
Do you want that on like a food commercial? Should Burger King have to do that? Say we touched up?
They already have regulations on food commercials.
I just assume that like when you see advertising, you understand that it's been touched up.
Not every teen thinks that.
And it also, I guess you would have to define what advertising is, because is social media advertising? Like we have, especially when we're talking about women of a certain age, I know I've heard from a lot of, you know, people that I truly admire who are really fed up with explaining why they look the way that they look at the age that they are. And I think if
no dairy here for a long time.
Well, I mean, and maybe I'll do the same.
It works for Mary
Lou. But you know, I think that why can't we just celebrate like, oh wow, she looks great, regardless of what it is? Because I just think that we're kind of over that conversation at this point. I think we should know better.
I'd rather look like a catcher's mitt than give up cheese.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Jeff could not.
Jeff would be like a pillow. No, catcher's mitt is the sun.
Whatever.
Coming up on DBL, I just have one word to give you a clue as to who our next guest is. What's up?
He's laughing at
One of the guys who made Beverly famous in the Budweiser commercial. Clearly why he was cast and not someone like me is here live. There he is. We're going to talk to him next.
Closed captioning provided by
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Oh, he's totally on board.
Yeah. Like the McLovin. Yeah.
Oh, and he actually
First thing I asked her, does he mind? And no, he doesn't.
Because on the call, I was like, oh man, I got it. Because like that actor McLovin we had on one time, I'm like, what's the best part of COVID? He goes, people don't just scream McLovin at me when I walk down the street.
No, he says even people who come up to him drunk in a bar, because he says it still comes from a place of love, so it's like, because it makes people laugh.
All right,
so he's
cool.
totally
I'm glad
into
he's
it.
cool with it.
This commercial is old, so you know, I mean, it's given him a career.
So, Jeff, you have the first question, asking kind of like how this commercial came to be, because it's actually like was a phrase that they used in high school.
Okay.
And so then you'll ask if they still say it together, because they're all still friends today. Everyone in that commercial is friends.
That's really cool.
So if they still use it today, he is kind of a funny thing.
Okay.
And it's Dookie. Yep. So Al, you have the second. What was it like to work with your friends? Because they're all friends in the commercial. Erica, you have the third. Do people yell "What's up" at you on the street? And like, what's your favorite fan encounter you've had? And then Mary Lou, you have the fourth one. Does it ever get old? Yeah. Hearing "What's up," being like the "What's up" guy.
Sure.
And then Sam, how did this change your life?
Okay.
So.
And tossed to follow him on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook.
Mary Lou, do you have
Facebook?
something that people always remember you by, and you're like, I've done a million
You know, it's
things?
funny. I mean, first it was Taxi, then it was all the health books I've written, and now it's memory. People stop me and give me their dates and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And so, the people on 60 Minutes said, this is going to change your life.
You know what really struck me with the 60 Minutes interview was like, you could tell how serious those guys were.
Oh, yeah.
And when it ended,
I mean, less than 100 people
like
in the
he would
world?
not give it up. He just goes, impressive. And you know, for that man to say that,
inside.
that guy, he was trying to, like, what was it, 7 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was like 9 hours that day. It was crazy. And the testing is ongoing. I did some, like, not long ago. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Hey guys, no rejoin.
Thank They taught us that a simple hi or hey was boring, and they gave us one of the most memorable greetings of all time. Today, we're chatting with one of the stars from this iconic commercial. Take a look.
Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie! Yo. What's that? What's that? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
First of all, I want to say I was not laughing at her. I was laughing with her. Okay, let's get that straight.
It's okay if you're laughing at me. I'm used to it.
Yeah. But Dookie, since you're here, I gotta give you one. What's that? You gotta commit. You gotta commit. So that greeting is actually something you did with your friends years before Budweiser got its hands on it. How did this commercial even come to be? That's so interesting.
Okay, so growing up, my best friend was a guy named Charles Stone, and he was a music video director, but he wanted to get into the feature film world. So he made a short film that was kind of going to be like his calling card so that he could get into the feature film world. And it was entered into some film festivals, and people started seeing it. And since this was like, you know, the late 90s, before the internet and YouTube, people were making copies of the videotape back in the bootleg tape day and sending it around and giving it to their friends and everything. And one of the ad execs from DDB in Chicago saw the video and called him and said, yo, we want to turn this into a Budweiser commercial.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Now, you guys are all still friends. Do you still say that to each other, or you're like, listen, Doug, enough? I don't know if any of your friends are named Doug.
I wouldn't say we like, listen, that's enough. No, we would never say that. But I mean, like, that was something we actually used to do with each other back in our teens and 20s. So when Charles was going to make the short film, he actually told me, he's like, it's about that thing we used to do back in the day, you know? So, yeah.
That's so cool.
So now we do other silly stuff now when we see each other.
Ooh, coming soon.
Yeah. Mary Lou, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, did you have to audition, or did your friend just have you do the part? Because you guys were,
okay,
you know.
here's the funny thing. Hi, Mary Lou, first of all, big fan.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was not in the short film. So when Anheuser-Busch spoke to him and said, we want to, you know, turn this into the commercial, he called me. I was working as a bouncer in a nightclub in Philly. So he called me and he's like, listen, we're holding auditions. Get up here and audition. Whoa. So I did. I came up and I auditioned, and I ended up getting the part of Dookie. So
yes. That's awesome. It's appropriate, you know, that would happen. Now, do people yell?
Come on, you got to give it. You got to give it.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
You got to do it.
Come on.
Did people yell, what's Yes, that's going to be on my highlight reel. To you on the street. And do you have a favorite fan encounter?
People still, you know, when they recognize me, which isn't as often as it used to be, but every now and then they surprise me. And now, back in the day, yeah, they just used to run up right in my ear, yell, ah! Now it's a quiet thing. They quietly, you know, sidle up next to me and go like, what's that? And let me know that they know it's me. I actually, this is 100% true. I actually had a woman tell me that her child's first words were, what's up?
No, come on.
I could see that.
That's so funny. Because I'm telling them, my boys are 26 and 27 now, but when the commercial came out, they were little, and they would do that. What's up?
It's perfect for little children.
Yes. You know, Mary Lou was like, if I ever meet the guy that did that, and here you are right now.
I know, it's kismet. For sure.
Sorry,
does it ever get tired? Does it ever get old for you to have somebody do that, or do you like love it?
See, here's the thing, and this is what I've always said from day one. we could have gotten famous for something that everybody hated. You know, then we'd have people coming up and punching us in the face and kicking us in the shin. But it's love. It's all love. So when people do it, they do it from a place of, you know, love. And so it's great.
Well
great. I love it.
said. Well said, Scott. So how did this commercial change your life, you and your friends' lives?
Well, it completely changed my life. I was working as a nightclub bouncer, and then I was a working actor, and not just a working actor, but I was literally world famous. You know, so, and it just, everything snowballed from there. I hosted a television show on ABC. I've done other commercials, you know, I've done movies, I've done other television. Yeah, so it just completely changed my life.
So cool. It really is.
I have a really quick question. I just want to know, like, what was the one moment, the first time you were like, oh, this is something?
Right.
Because you didn't have the internet to look at numbers. Was something where you're like, oh, this is a thing?
Okay. So our PR person got us into the Grammys that year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was in 2000. So we walked the red carpet.
Wow.
So we're walking up and down the red carpet, and nobody wanted to talk to us because they had no idea who we were, because this was early on in the commercials, you know, run. So we were going up and down like that press aisle, and nobody wanted to talk to us. So we were just like, forget it. Let's just go into the Grammys. So we started walking up the red carpet into the Grammys. And, you know, they have those bleachers set up. I never knew that. So all of a sudden you heard, yo, Duke, what's up? And then the whole bleachers lit up with the what's up. And then all of a sudden, all of the press was like, come back, come back, come back. And then they all wanted to interview us.
That's awesome, man.
So I was like,
great guy.
The fans spoke up. We so appreciate you. DBL Nation, be sure to follow Scott on Facebook. Thank you, Scott, for taking us down a trip down memory lane. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hey, everybody.
Thanks, man.
If you've got...
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate. So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane. They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy. There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Just over 1 year ago today, first responders were called to a group home and found one resident washing away blood in the shower. Now, a new podcast investigating the murder case is also exposing holes in the justice and mental health systems along the way. Take a look.
At one time, things seemed pretty good for Stephen Howells.
The thing that I always remember is his smile.
But life would become more challenging for Howells after he started experiencing delusions. He ended up living in a group home just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. But Stephen Howells would never get the chance to leave. On April 12, 2021, first responders were called to that home on a quiet street in Gilbert, Arizona, where they'd find another resident, Christopher Lambeth, washing away blood in the shower.
I worried about things like that happening, but I worried about it on the street, not in someplace that's supposed to keep them safe.
It's not clear why Stephen Howells was living at Tilde Manor, but records show his accused killer, Christopher Lambeth, had been living there since at least 2018.
Back when he was a teenager, we learned through court documents that he, had been diagnosed with some mental health issues and had been receiving treatment, but ultimately went to live with his grandparents in a community outside of Tucson. And at some point during that time, he killed both of his grandparents. He brutally stabbed them to death. A neighbor or a friend of the family ultimately, called police to the house for a welfare check, and they found him, in his grandparents' house, just watching TV, their bodies down the hall.
Wow. So here to talk about the case, please welcome KPNX reporter and Locked Inside host Erica Stapleton. Thank you, Erica.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, Erica, let's get right into it, because how did a convicted killer end up living in this otherwise quaint neighborhood?
Well, that's a question that a lot of people had when this first came out, and we uncovered that this man who's accused of murder back in April of last year had a past double murder conviction already. So here in Arizona, that suspect actually pleaded guilty except insane to that earlier crime. And in Arizona, if a person pleads guilty except insane, they typically will go to Arizona State Hospital for treatment, not prison. So that's where he went, and he was under the purview of this state board that ultimately can make decisions about whether people could be released before their sentences are up, whether they're monitored in the community, or have more privileges on hospital grounds. So that's what happened with suspect Christopher Lambeth in this case, is that he was allowed to go live in the community several years before his sentence was even up.
So at what point did the system break down for him? Was it like way before that happened, before he was sent?
Well, I think in our reporting, we've uncovered that there were a lot of areas along the way that could have been remedied in different ways, or maybe could have had more careful attention that could have ultimately prevented what happened. And in this case, I think the ultimate failure was when the victim of this group home killing, Stephen Howells, died in the group home. These are state licensed group homes here in Arizona, and unfortunately, he wasn't kept safe in that environment. And these are homes that are supposed to be helping people with treatment and making sure they're, taking steps forward in their life, not ultimately ending them.
Right.
Well, you lead me to my question for you. In making Locked Inside, what did you learn about the holes in our mental health system? Because clearly that's all we've been talking about so far.
Yeah, and that's, essentially the whole story that we continue to uncover. And it seemed that, there wasn't just one problem. We found questions along the way in a lot of different areas. As I mentioned, this is a state licensed group home, and there were questions about the inspections that were done at this facility, and also about the quality of care that was being provided. And then you go back to that state board that ultimately released the suspect in this new case, Christopher Lambeth, to live in the community. There's criticism about that board as well. So there are just a lot of questions and red flags along the way that, as we continued our reporting, we uncovered there maybe could have been some changes or differences. Things could have gone very differently, and should have.
Right. And Erica, thank you for bringing this story to light. Hopefully somehow changes can come from this. That's the goal, right? You can listen to Locked Inside, her podcast covering the case, or on any podcast streamer. We thank you for joining us today. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result? Many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is connecting the dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Welcome back. We have some tips to help ease your stress and anxiety around making a fitness plan. That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Experts suggest focusing on why you want to improve your health. This will make your efforts less about vanity or subjective goals. Also experience patience. Most people will feel emotionally uplifted exactly 15 minutes and 9 seconds. It's very important to note the 9 seconds into their workout. Knowing this will allow you to look forward to the high of working out versus the low that can come with starting a fitness routine. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. So try their underdesk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We have a lot of comments in regard to the What's Up guy. Barbara says, I love these interviews. He's such a nice guy with a great personality that comes across. Carolyn says, there's very positive energy that comes from this guy.
Yeah, totally.
Are you talking about me or him?
No.
Al has to make everything about him, Mary Liz.
I don't have to make everything
I'm
about
here
me.
2 days and I can tell.
But I like when people lean into their fame, right?
Yeah,
Something that's
great.
a catchphrase, and he just accepts it, and he did it with all of us. Erica, good job. Way to get it out there.
I think you won. Erica, that was impressive. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
But then you want to go back 20 years and cancel somebody for what they did? You know what? You're out of order.
I woke up and said, today is going to be a good day.
Yeah. At some point, you got to decide for yourself if you're going to stand up for what's wrong or what's right.
Like, are we living in Bizarro world? Sorry, I ran out of steam there.
I have to just push back on that. I think it's an okay conversation to have. That's what really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way. I love this story.
what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A corrections officer is dead, and the inmate she disappeared with is back behind bars. The wild chase that crossed state lines, ending an 11-day search. Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? Continues with the Budweiser guy who made the "What's up" line super famous. And special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner is back, spilling behind-the-scenes secrets from her time on reality TV. What was Donald Trump like when the cameras stopped rolling?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We've got special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You're such a well-oiled machine. Everybody works so well together, and you guys are so like sexy and funny, and you've got so much energy, and it's just great to be with you.
You know, Mary Lou, you, I feel like, are like the cherry on top. We missed not having like your perspective and everything, so you're just bringing out the best in us. We appreciate you. And Mary Lou's going to be here all week, by the way.
That's right. It's like that line from, what was it, Bronx Tale, now you can't leave. Like, you're with us now. Yes, I like it.
You're not allowed to leave. So sorry. Okay, so here's a story that I can already see a lot of our viewers have an opinion on. I'm sure many of you have heard. After an 11-day manhunt, authorities caught up with the Alabama inmate, Casey White, who was captured alive, and the corrections officer, Vicky White, who is dead from a gunshot wound to the head. Now, a tip led to a police chase in Indiana, which ended after the couple's car crashed into a ditch. When police approached the car, Casey reportedly said, quote, "Help, my wife just shot herself." Casey's back behind bars right now and is waiting to be extradited to Alabama. Now, initially, police said Vicky shot herself in the car after the chase ended, but now at least one sheriff is suggesting that Casey was the one who pulled the trigger. What was all of your, I mean, you and I chatted a little bit in the green room. You had a lot to say. What was your initial thoughts when you heard this?
That he did it, no doubt. That she was the evidence, that, you know, and she could have plea bargained to like really tell the real story, and maybe there was like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. I mean, you know, I really think he killed her, you know.
I don't know. I'm going to take the other side just for the fact that I think there was some Stockholm syndrome going on, but I think she knew she could never have her life back. Now she was, instead of bringing the prison guard, she was the one going to prison. She gave up all of her, everything she had, all of her money, all of her retirement, everything. Now she chose this life, and now it's the end.
But
and it was kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde moment.
Thing.
Like,
you know, that
I'm
she could
with
have
Mary
said, hey,
Lou. We don't know what history he's had on manipulating her. We don't know if he coerced her. We don't know if he blackmailed her. I mean, she took care of her mom. Apparently, according to people that knew her, her mom was her everything. Why would she leave her mom? What if he threatened her mom?
Right.
But if her mom was her everything, that's something that you would structure your life around. And there wouldn't be a place, Erica's face, for, no, you're making a face because I agree. Look, there wouldn't be a place for somebody like this to slide into your life. My kids are my everything, so I'm not going to fall in love with an inmate.
Somebody who's like mad, acting like he's madly in love with her, and she's got, you know, he's a big hunky guy and everything else. Come on.
But he didn't need to keep her quiet. He was already going back to prison for the rest of his life.
I know,
he had
but
11 days out.
I know.
He like had something to thank her for. I don't even think he needed to silence her in any way. That's where I'm confused.
She wanted the car clean. That's why. You know, maybe
and they also, Erica, and I'm dying to hear what Erica has to say. 4 guns were found. She had $29,000 left of the $90,000 from selling her home. And this was their 3rd car that they were on. What are you thinking, Erica?
Yeah, I don't think that it's exactly, you know, out of the realm of possibility that a murderer murdered someone else. That being said, I do also think about the idea of being that close with your mother, and I have made a lot of decisions in my life, not because it was going to be a detriment to me, but because I just couldn't have my mother find out, or my mother like be disappointed or hurt by my actions. So I feel like when you have that type of relationship with a parent, sometimes you make better decisions for your life because of the fear of destroying
Erica,
them.
I just wanted to say this. Oh, please.
No, please, go.
I just want to throw this at all you guys. Yes, we're talking about these two, but clearly A lot of people knew. The inmates were saying there's clearly a relationship. He was getting extra food. They just wandered out the front door. You couldn't even do that here.
Well, they didn't wander out the front door. She put together a paper that made it look like she was going to take him to a healthcare appointment.
A healthcare appointment, and then she had one after that.
Yes.
And then they found out that there wasn't.
But should there be things in place if everybody at least knows that there's something, there's a strange thing going on with this relationship? Are the other people involved, like in that office? Don't tell me the other officers weren't aware.
Yeah, but you also have to consider how common these relationships are. I don't think that this is the first time.
Escape at Dannemora.
Exactly, that there's someone who's actually incarcerated having an inappropriate relationship with someone who is supposed to be a correctional officer. So I don't know if it's that uncommon that people are like, ugh.
It's prison. I was like, where's HR?
I'm just Al backed down so easily. Erica said her great point, and then I was like, good point.
Well, she said to us he has a pattern of killing his girlfriends. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right on that too. So.
Well, I don't know if it was his girlfriends, but he's taken lives before.
Really
I don't mean to laugh
at
that, but yeah.
Very sad. Coming up on DBL, you guys, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Plus, Mary Lou is giving us the inside scoop on her reality TV days.
Oh,
what was it like working with Donald Trump on The Apprentice twice? And as we mentioned, Mary Lou is going to be here all week long. Do you have a question or a comment for her? Email info@dailyblastlive.com or find us on social media. Just search DBL.
Closed captioning provided by. Today on DBL, Erica Jane will be here live. Plus, we're continuing our series Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the Budweiser guy. That's today only on DBL.
Tell us about your time on Celebrity Apprentice.
I was just making the point. I didn't mean to laugh about the pattern of murdering his girlfriend. The fact that when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good reason why I'm wrong. That's what I was laughing at. So just for the audience out
Third
there.
question. So Mary Lou did not only do Celebrity Apprentice, she also did Dancing with the Stars. How would she compare the two shows? All right. Al, you have the fourth question.
All right, so do you want to talk about that prison? So can't they just test, I watched too many 48 Hours. Can't they test if there's gun residue on her finger versus his finger?
And nobody shoots themselves here. They say it was in the middle of the head. That's what I heard, to the head.
Okay.
People do this, whatever.
So I think eventually we'll find out, right? Who did it?
It's a heartbreaking story.
It is
regardless.
very heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking.
Okay, but is it? And he looks a little. I hate to say this, except he's too young to play him. The bald things. He looks like Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Pete Davidson, you think could play the guy?
No, he's too young. He's way too young. But there's something about the way
that
his
guy's
head
only 30.
sits on his neck.
Or Pete Davidson's pretty young.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is 28, 27.
I mean, is this going to be the things? I know this is Jeff's issue.
And that guy's only 38 or 39.
Is he? Really? But he's got to be tall.
Yeah, the prisoner?
55.
No, she's in her 60s. He's 38.
That's what I'm saying. He's 38, she's 54.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live a hard life.
Yeah. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. And I love Pete Davidson, just so you know.
Of course.
I love Pete Davidson.
Yeah, but he's only 10 years younger than that guy.
Yeah, but he's too young. But I'm saying that would be a good part. If there's time.
All right, it's day 2 of Mary Lou Henner Week. Yes.
I got a whole week named after me.
Yes. Did you guys know that Mary Lou was fired not once but twice? On a reality show, that is.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say this, but Mary Lou, you're fired. And you are a terrific woman. Get the hell out of here. Thank you.
All right, sorry, Mary Lou. I was so excited I jumped the gun
That's okay.
on that little clip. But you got to tell us all about your time on Celebrity Apprentice. mainly my man Gary Busey.
Well, Lisa Rinna and I took turns being the Gary Busey whisperer. The Gary whisperer.
All right, you got to. I want to.
was, and then when I switched to the other team, I mean, we'd have to do like a whole show on that craziness. But he's a lot of fun.
I'm like,
all right, yeah. You're here all week.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about Andy Kaufman. We could talk about Gary Busey.
Oh wow, I want to hear about.
Yes, a lot of them for sure. Well, it's interesting because I don't know if you had this. Well, you had cameras everywhere, but you were never even allowed to go to the bathroom unless there was a camera, like we're waiting outside the door, and you were mic'd all the time. And there was this one crazy thing that happened the first time I did the show where I lost a receipt, and I thought, oh no. So I said to Carol Alt, I said, I can't find the receipt. Pretty soon, like sharks, here come the cameras, dun 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 dun, dun, and they start circling you. And I thought, Mary Lou, come on, you got that memory and stuff. So I called the store and I went, okay, it was 7:03 at night. It was the third cash register from the doorway. There was a girl in a Hawaiian shirt. And all of a sudden they went, oh yeah, we found the receipt. And then they faxed it to us. It was like, whew, and the cameras, dun it, as they all moved away. Wow. No privacy whatsoever. But I had a blast on that show. It was crazy. You find out who you are. Wouldn't you say that about doing a reality show?
Absolutely, yeah.
You find out what you're good at. You find out who's going to but the first one we did was 21 days, and there was only one day off for the New York Marathon. So people were dropping like flies.
I could see that.
It was crazy.
Let me ask you what I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. What was Donald Trump like off the cameras?
This is what I got almost every day. Mary Lou, if I took you to Vegas, could you count the cards?
I'm like, so what was your answer?
Yeah, me too. Could you do that?
Could you?
Maybe.
Ooh, we're going to Vegas.
I know. It's like, okay.
My next week will be in Vegas.
And then just to follow up really quick, because we have a lot of our viewers writing in. Apparently, Elon Musk, it was just announced that he would reverse Twitter's ban on Donald Trump. What do you feel about that?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay,
no,
that's enough.
Please.
Got
That's
it.
enough.
Okay.
That's
a lot. Well, what's the deal with the pros and like how do they act?
Oh, you mean on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
that
it
was
we just switched.
Completely
different experience. But they were both really hard.
I was actually reading the question like, what does that mean? That was my fault. Sorry, producers.
Yeah. Totally different. Totally different. One is exhausting. They're both exhausting physically. I lost I'm 120 pounds, always between 117, 122. I got down to 110, 111 in like a short period of time because it was like so physical. And, it was like mentally challenging. They both were, I grew up in a dancing school. So, I'll tell you something. I sing a song in my club act because I do a show, and I do a whole tribute to Dancing with the Stars to the Kander and Ebb song called Pain. Why don't they mention the pain? And you'll see some pictures. I think I gave them some photographs because I started taking pictures of all the different bruises and everything. And I sing a line that's like, graphic content.
Uh-oh.
These were taken while I was doing the show. It was like triage. It was crazy. People's ribs were taped. You had they didn't even show you the bad ones. Those are Derek Huff's fingerprints.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it. It was worth it because I like things to challenge myself. Bad behavior fascinates me in people, so I always like to understand the pathology of people and work with them and stuff like that. So it was worth it.
Before we go, we need to hear more about your show really quick.
Okay, I'm doing it in 5 different places over the next month and a half, and so I hope people come and see it. I'm doing it at 54 Below. I'm doing it at Fire Island over Memorial Weekend, and I'm also doing it on at Feinstein's at Vitello's in Los Angeles, and it's so much fun. Production numbers, great dancers, really fun.
That is so cool. Make sure that you guys check that out. And also coming up on DBL, Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate. So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane. They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't let her pretty face fool you. She's also pretty tough and says the strongest substance on earth isn't a diamond, it's actually her. Beverly Hills housewife Erica Jane joins us live. Hey, Erica. So first and foremost, we got our celebrity guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here. You got a question about Broadway for her.
Yes. So Erica, you and I not only both know Lisa Rinna, but also we both did Chicago. I was like the first person in. I know you did it. Did you have a great time? And was it always a dream of yours to be on Broadway and to play that part?
Number one, it was always a dream of mine to be on Broadway. It was such an honor to be in a Fosse show because I just love everything about Fosse. Love Lisa Rinna, love you. And so that was, yes. And that was practice. I feel like every performer should really go do a musical and then call yourself a performer because that is 8 shows a week brutality. And it is wonderful. Best time of my life.
Bravo.
Speaking of Bravo, I'm a Bravo-holic.
Well played.
The Bravo-holic on the show. So I am curious because obviously we know you from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's how us Bravo-holics do. So with everything that's going on, you know, from your personal life last season to this, are you having any second thoughts about being a reality TV star?
No, because a lot of great things have come with it as well. And I think that when you put it on balance, there have been more positive than negatives. Yes, this is a tough time in my life, but I'll get through it. And I think that there's more positive things on the horizon.
So most of the cast face some hard times this season, plus some difficult moments with each other. Is there a specific moment that maybe you regret the most?
Well, I could give you a list.
Good answer.
I think what I regret the most is becoming frustrated and raising my voice and then not being able to explain myself the way I should. And that happens. But that's part of the game as well, and I have to roll with that. You know, I know the truth and I know what I'm trying to say, and that will come forward.
Yeah, you know, listen, we're all looking forward to see what happens. Now, who from the Beverly Hills cast are you currently friends with?
I'm friends with most of them. Yeah, but here's the thing about Housewives. Just like in life, you're closer with certain people than you are others just because you may connect on different levels. And, you know, we do have beef with each other that hopefully gets resolved. So right now, maybe I'm not so close to like 3 of them, but I'm close to the others.
I feel that. Now, it's weird. I get this question a lot because I've been doing stand-up forever. So I'm going to ask you, because everybody goes, what's your favorite city? If you had to join another housewife cast, which city would you move to? Because I know I'm going to New Orleans.
I'm going home to Atlanta.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's what's up. ATL. I'm here for it.
Wait, you joining Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because that's the tea.
What did you say?
Is that the tea? Give us the tea.
I said the tea because if you join Real Housewives of Atlanta, I would change my whole schedule.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. 0 to 18. So that's like my whole family's there, and so I would just be going home.
Yeah, and all the old boyfriends would be coming out. The teacher.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah.
And for a viewer, let's hope so.
I know,
and for the viewer, yeah.
Erica, have you ever brought this up to Andy Cohen? Do you think that you could ever make the switch to Atlanta?
You know, my life is in Los Angeles. I think Candy the other day said she gave a few people that if they could come to Atlanta, and I was one of them. You know, I don't see myself going home, but, you know, never say never. Watch me be moving next week.
I know, right? And if Candy gave her blessing, I mean,
I was going to say, if Candy's your ally,
yeah,
that's all you need.
And you know what, Candy, Kenya, those women, they've been very kind to me and very supportive during this time. And so thank you to the, you know, and, you know, there have been a lot of people that have been really kind.
Well, thank you, Erica. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, you can catch the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Wednesday nights on Bravo. We'll be right back. Thanks, Erica.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result, many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Tomorrow on DBL, Mary Lou Henner is back as our special guest co-host. She's revisiting her time as Roxy in Chicago on Broadway with her friend and co-star Ben Vereen. And we're continuing our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the longest-running Doublemint twins. That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
Welcome back. Okay, have you all heard about this? This is crazy. The West mega drought is causing reservoirs to dry up, and in Lake Mead near Vegas, authorities are discovering human remains. So one set was found in a rusted barrel stuck in the mud. Ooh. Authorities believe the man had probably been shot in the mid-70s. A few days later, human bones were found on a newly surfaced sandbar. A former Las Vegas mayor has suggested that what we are seeing are the secrets from the Vegas mob past coming to light. Yeah, which are likely to include more dead bodies. But if you're curious to know who killed notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, the former mayor said, don't bet your mortgage. Yeah. That's such a Vegas mayor thing to say, right?
I think more than anything is blowing out the rumor that like they would dig ditches and bury people. I think maybe we just had some lazy gangsters. They were like, just put them in the lake, it'll be fine. It's a really weird place. I think we're gonna find a lot of guns. Yeah. I think we're gonna find a lot of abandoned vehicles, and I think we're gonna find a lot of skeletons down there, because I don't think anybody ever thought that anybody would see was at the bottom of that lake or any lake.
And jewelry. I think we're going to find a lot of jewelry.
A lot of wedding rings.
Wedding rings, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I thought this was like not as shocking, because I would always hear things like swim with the fishes and cement shoes. Like,
oh yeah.
Isn't that what that meant?
That's
we weren't seeing it in my house.
Well, maybe I just thought it was the desert, so I thought maybe they had to dig
go
dishes.
To your room, just
swim with the fishes.
Roosevelt comes out, swim with the fishes with cement shoes. Yikes! You love mob stuff.
I don't know what the attraction is, but I think a lot of people are fascinated with all that stuff, right? So when you see things like this, the old-time gangsters, that was Vegas. That's how Vegas kind of got introduced, right?
Absolutely.
I think it was the Stardust. It was Bugsy Siegel and his guys. I don't mean to know too much about it, but I'm really into that stuff. So even though it's dead bodies and stuff, it's kind of gross. People are like fascinated by it.
We're fascinated, but I don't think anyone is surprised.
No.
Have you always loved Vegas?
Yes, and I did Chicago there, to bring it up again. And they had to drag me kicking and screaming there, and then I got there. I had the best time. They had to drag me kicking and screaming away from it.
How long did you stay?
Vegas
I did it for the
residency?
summer with my 2 little boys. It was fantastic.
Can we see a Vegas residency in the future?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, I really appreciate it now, and it was the audiences were great and everything else. But it's pretty crazy there. I mean, it's a mentality. I've shot movies there and everything else. It's a whole different world.
I love when I'm on a plane to Vegas. I'm like, Vegas, and then 2 days later, I'm like, I'm never coming back. I hate this place.
That just makes it right.
The way home is.
And whenever you like have a private conversation with somebody, and it's like, okay, no, you don't. We say, okay, this is Vegas, baby. You know, it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, my husband went with these two. I still wonder what happened in Vegas.
It's a very relaxing man trip.
You might find it at the bottom of the river.
All right, if you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. We're continuing our classic commercial stars, Where Are They Now series with one of the iconic Budweiser guys who made that "What's Up" phrase.
Made the what now?
I tried. And Grey's Anatomy of Love, Jesse Williams goes viral. We're going to tell you why it has to do with a nude pic.
Time, it was considered our way out of the pandemic. But 2 years in, let's verify. Are we still aiming for herd immunity against COVID-19? Our sources are 2 top infectious disease doctors, Dr. Amish Indulja and Dr. William Schaffner. Diseases like polio and measles are not the public health threat they used to be because of a community immunity to them.
With herd immunity, we have viruses that are usually pretty stable, and once you get infected or get vaccinated, you have long-term protection.
However, this coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, plays by different rules.
The virus mutates in a way that gets around our immune system.
Meaning the virus changes too often for the herd's immunity to keep up.
This virus comes from a family of viruses that routinely reinfect us every year and cause 25 to 30% of our common colds. So we don't have herd immunity to other common cold-causing viruses. So it's unlikely to have herd immunity against this type of a coronavirus.
There is still power in numbers, especially the previously infected and vaccinated ones.
It's harder for this virus to be able to cause severe disease, hospitalization, and death at the rate that it once did, because it's increasingly running into people who have immunity against those severe outcomes.
But it will probably require reinforcing that immunity, like with vaccines.
This is a protection that we're going to have to renew periodically.
So we can verify no.
The notion of herd immunity has been largely put aside, at the moment.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We still got Mary Lou Henner here. She's here with us all week. So lucky to have her.
Love you guys.
We love you. Okay, so Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams was just nominated for a Tony Award, but everyone is talking about him for a very different reason. During a performance of his Broadway play, we know you're no stranger to Broadway, Mary Lou.
Yeah.
So this Broadway play, Take Me Out. Well, someone took photos of Jesse nude on stage. The full frontal pics were posted all over social media yesterday and were taken during a shower scene of the play. According to the theater's website, spectators were required to put their phones in a sealed case during the show so this didn't happen. Well, Jesse has not spoken publicly about the leak, but he did talk about performing nude on Watch What Happens Live, which I know you've also been on. Check it out.
Everybody makes such a big deal. It's a body.
Right.
That doesn't. Once you see it, you realize it's not. Whatever.
Your mom was like,
it's
just
a
how I left
body.
it.
Yeah. It's like, it didn't grow at all. Okay.
That's
like,
true. But
it's
on
not.
the
I just
other
have
hand,
to not make it
true.
But
But on the
Maybe he took the picture.
I'm like, Andy?
No.
Andy.
Yeah, like Jesse Williams had someone take a picture if it doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
No, do you think like this was somehow put out by his team? Is that what you're referencing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm making a joke. But,
okay.
you know, they do collect the cell phones and they put them in little baggies and no people don't get them back. So I'm surprised that this happened. I'm actually more surprised that it hasn't happened sooner.
Right.
You know,
I think people
and maybe they wanted to
started
make sure.
taking two phones. But my question for you, Mary Lou, is you've done Broadway, so you're a perfect person to ask for this. You get the script. There's a nude scene similar to this. You agree to do it. Is there a part of you that expects that even though they're going to put the phones away, that there will be a picture that leaks? Is there a part that realistically, not saying it's right, but like when you sign your name, are you saying this will probably happen?
Well, I've done nude scenes in movies, and I actually did one on stage, but it was like pre, iPhone, so that's good. But do you know that when Nicole Kidman was on Broadway, they charged extra money for the seats where you can get like a full shot of her.
Wow.
And it was a side thing, but.
Makes sense. I mean,
so maybe there's more to this story than
interesting. I also think it's interesting, Erica. There always seems to be, and this could be me painting with a broad brush. A female would react, in my opinion, a lot differently than a male. Maybe I'm generalizing.
No, I do think that in society we feel that way because we have so much experience with that, right? But I do think that Jesse's a serious actor. If I had to speculate on it, I wouldn't think that he would do this just for publicity. No. He's gotten a lot of attention for things outside of his craft already, and I think a lot of times when actors go back to, or decide to do Broadway, it's also like kind of giving them a little bit of more credibility.
Yeah.
Right. So for this to happen, I really don't believe that anyone in his camp did that. And I don't know if he's going to feel some type of way about it, but I think that kind of sucks. I feel like it's kind of
also he's on Watch What Happens Live, probably knocking back a couple.
Right.
So he's like glib and so, he didn't say this after.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so former Charlie's Angels star Jaclyn Smith is getting a lot of attention over a recent post on social media. The actress, who is 76, recently posted this pic on Instagram. Wow, looking flawless, with some wondering if it's the result of good lighting, good genes, maybe a filter. She was best known, of course, for playing Kelly Garrett on Charlie's Angels. Here she is next to a photo of her from more than 40 years ago. What do you think about appearing ageless online?
Well, first of all, I have met her, and I was at a thing recently, like a couple years ago, pre-COVID. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She looks flawless. She's the kind of person that is so beautiful that when you're talking to her, you almost want to like block her face a little so you can hear what she's saying, because otherwise you're like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful.
Right.
Wow. So yeah, she's, but who cares? She definitely has good genes, and that's a good filter.
I know, she's great.
Is it wrong to want to look your best?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like now we're just kind of going after a certain demographic of people that are a little bit older and asking them questions about if they've had enhancements, asking if they've had surgery. But like, we don't ask a 31-year-old that or a 26-year-old that, especially when it seems like there's money behind them. And if they want to get that, have at it.
I hear you, but we do comment on the Kardashians. We do comment on people over-filtering that are in their 30s, and I will always stand by that. I think if you do over-filter, that's fine, that's on you, but I think that there should be some sort of, I know they do this in other countries, like a logo or something that shows it's been filtered, so our teens understand that this unrealistic image is not attainable.
Do you want that on like a food commercial? Should Burger King have to do that? Say we touched up.
They already have regulations on food commercials.
I just assume that like when you see advertising, you understand that it's been touched up.
Not every teen thinks that.
And it also, I guess you would have to define what advertising is, because is social media advertising? Like we have, especially when we're talking about women of a certain age, I know I've heard from a lot of people that I truly admire who are really fed up with explaining why they look the way that they look at the age that they are. And I think if
no dairy here for a lifetime.
Well, I mean, and maybe I'll do the same.
It works for Mary Lou.
But I think that why can't we just celebrate like, oh wow, she looks great, regardless of what it is? Because I just think that we're kind of over that conversation at this point. I think we should know better.
I'd rather look like a catcher's mitt than give up cheese.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Jeff could not.
Jeff would be like a pillow. No, catcher's mitt is the sun.
Whatever.
Coming up on DBL, I just have one word to give you a clue as to who our next guest is. What's up?
He's laughing at
One of the guys who made Beverly famous in the Budweiser commercial. Clearly why he was cast and not someone like me is here live. There he is. We're going to talk to him next.
Closed captioning provided by
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Oh, he's totally on board.
Yeah.
So
Like the McLovin.
Yeah.
First thing I asked her, does he mind? And no, he doesn't.
Because on the call, I was like, oh man, I got it. Because like that actor McLovin we had on one time, I'm like, what's the best part of COVID? He goes, people don't just scream McLovin at me when I walk down the street.
No, he says even people who come up to him drunk in a bar, because he says it still comes from a place of love, so it's like, because it makes people laugh.
All right,
so he's
cool.
totally
Yeah, I'm glad
into
he's
it.
cool with it.
This commercial is old, so I mean, it's given him a career.
So, Jeff, you have the first question, asking kind of like how this commercial came to be, because it's actually like was a phrase that they used in high school.
Okay.
And so then you'll ask if they still say it together, because they're all still friends today. Everyone in that commercial is friends.
That's really cool.
So if they still use it today, he is kind of funny thing.
Okay.
And
it's Dookie?
Dookie. Yep. So Al, you have the second. What was it like to work with your friends? Because they're all friends in the commercial. Erica, you have the third. Do people yell "What's up" at you on the street? And like, what's your favorite fan encounter you've had? And then Mary Lou, you have the fourth one. Does it ever get old?
Yeah.
Hearing "What's up," being like the "What's up" guy.
Sure.
And then Sam, how did this change your life?
Okay.
So.
And toss to follow him on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook.
Mary Lou, do you have
Facebook?
something that people always remember you by, and you're like, I've done a million
It's
things?
funny. I mean, first it was Taxi, then
Right.
it was all the health books I've written, and now it's memory. People stop me and give me their dates and blah blah blah. And so the people on 60 Minutes said, this is going to change your life.
You know
And they
what
were
really
right.
struck me with the 60 Minutes interview was like, you could tell how serious those guys were.
Oh, yeah.
And when it ended,
less than 100 people
like
in the
he would
world?
not give it up. He just goes, impressive. And for that man
He
to
was
say
dying
that,
inside.
that guy, he was trying to, like, what was it, 7 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was like 9 hours that day. It was crazy. And the testing is ongoing. I did some like not long ago. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Hey guys, no rejoin.
Right.
They taught us that a simple hi or hey was boring, and they gave us one of the most memorable greetings of all time. Today, we're chatting with one of the stars from this iconic commercial. Take a look.
Hello?
What's that?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Dookie. Yo.
What's that?
What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
First of all, I want to say I was not laughing at her. I was laughing with her. Okay, let's put that straight.
It's okay if you're laughing at me. I'm used to it.
But Dookie, since you're here, I gotta give you one. What's that? You gotta commit. You gotta commit. So that greeting is actually something you did with your friends years before Budweiser got its hands on it. How did this commercial even come to be? That's so interesting.
Okay, so growing up, my best friend was a guy named Charles Stone, and he was a music video director, but he wanted to get into the feature film world. So he made a short film that was kind of going to be like his calling card so that he could get into the feature film world. And it was entered into some film festivals, and people started seeing it. And since this was like, you know, the late 90s, before the internet and YouTube, people were making copies of the videotape back in the bootleg tape day and sending it around and giving it to their friends and everything. And one of the ad execs from DDB in Chicago saw the video and called him and said, yo, we want to turn this into a Budweiser commercial.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, you guys are all still friends. Do you still say that to each other, or you're like, listen, Doug, enough? I don't know if any of your friends are named Doug.
I wouldn't say we like, listen, that's enough. No, we would never say that. But I mean, like, that was something we actually used to do with each other back in our teens and 20s. So when Charles was going to make the short film, he actually told me, he's like, it's about that thing we used to do back in the day, you know? So, yeah.
That's so cool.
So now we do other silly stuff now when we see each other.
Ooh, coming soon.
Yeah. Mary Lou, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, did you have to audition, or did your friend just have you do the part? Because you guys were,
okay,
you know.
here's the funny thing. Hi, Mary Lou, first of all, big fan.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was not in the short film. So when Anheuser-Busch spoke to him and said, we want to, you know, turn this into the commercial, he called me. I was working as a bouncer in a nightclub in Philly. So he called me and he's like, listen, we're holding auditions. Get up here and audition.
Whoa.
So I did. I came up and I auditioned, and I ended up getting the part of Dookie. So.
Yes. That's awesome. It's appropriate, you know, that would happen. Now, do people yell?
Come on, you got to give it. You got to give it.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
You got to do it.
Come on.
Did
Come
people
on.
yell, what's that? Yes, that's going to be on my highlight reel. To you on the street. And do you have a favorite fan encounter?
People still, you know, when they recognize me, which isn't as often as it used to be, but every now and then they surprise me. And now, back in the day, yeah, they just used to run up right in my ear, yell, ah! Now it's a quiet thing. They quietly, you know, sidle up next to me and go like, what's that? And let me know that they know it's me. I actually, this is 100% true. I actually had a woman tell me that her child's first words were, what's up?
No, come on.
I could see that.
That's so funny. Because I'm telling
Absolutely.
them, my boys are 26 and 27 now, but when the commercial came out, they were little, and they would do that. What's up?
It's perfect for little children.
You know, Mary Lou, it's like if I ever meet the guy that did that, and here you are right now.
I know, it's kismet. For sure.
Sorry,
Does it
I
ever get tired?
apologize.
Does it ever get old for you to have somebody do that, or do you like love it?
See, here's the thing, and this is what I've always said from day one. we could have gotten famous for something that everybody hated. You know, then we'd have people coming up and punching us in the face and kicking us in the shin. But it's love. It's all love. So when people do it, they do it from a place of, you know, love. And so it's great.
Well
great. I love it.
said. Well said, Scott. So how did this commercial change your life, you and your friends' lives?
Well, it completely changed my life. I was working as a nightclub bouncer, and then I was a working actor, and not just a working actor, but I was literally world famous. You know, so, and it just, everything snowballed from there. I hosted a television show on ABC. I've done other commercials, you know, I've done movies, I've done other television. Yeah, so it just completely changed my life.
So cool. It really is.
I have a really quick question. I just want to know, like, what was the one moment, the first time you were like, oh, this is something?
Right.
Because you didn't have the internet to look at numbers. Was something where you're like, oh, this is a thing?
Okay. So our PR person got us into the Grammys that year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was in 2000. So we walked the red carpet.
Wow.
So we're walking up and down the red carpet, and nobody wanted to talk to us because they had no idea who we were, because this was early on in the commercials, you know, run. So we were going up and down like that press aisle, and nobody wanted to talk to us. So we were just like, forget it. Let's just go into the Grammys. So we started walking up the red carpet into the Grammys. And, you know, they have those bleachers set up. I never knew that. So all of a sudden you heard, yo, Dookie, what's up? And then the whole bleachers lit up with the what's up. And then all of a sudden, all of the press was like, come back, come back, come back. And then they all wanted to interview us.
That's awesome, man.
So I was like,
great
guy.
Oh, okay. The fans spoke up.
So,
We so appreciate you, DBL Nation. Be sure to follow Scott on Facebook. Thank you, Scott, for taking us down a trip down memory lane. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hey, everybody.
Thanks, man.
If you've got...
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate. So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane. They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Just over 1 year ago today, first responders were called to a group home and found one resident washing away blood in the shower. Now, a new podcast investigating the murder case is also exposing holes in the justice and mental health systems along the way. Take a look.
At one time, things seemed pretty good for Stephen Howells.
The thing that I always remember is his smile.
But life would become more challenging for Howells after he started experiencing delusions. He ended up living in a group home just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. But Stephen Howells would never get the chance to leave. On April 12, 2021, first responders were called to that home on a quiet street in Gilbert, Arizona, where they'd find another resident, Christopher Lambeth, washing away blood in the shower.
I worried about things like that happening, but I worried about it on the street, not in someplace that's supposed to keep them safe.
It's not clear why Stephen Howells was living at Tilde Manor, but records show his accused killer, Christopher Lambeth, had been living there since at least 2018.
Back when he was a teenager, we learned through court documents that he, had been diagnosed with some mental health issues and had been receiving treatment, but ultimately went to live with his grandparents in a community outside of Tucson. And at some point during that time, he killed both of his grandparents. He brutally stabbed them to death. A neighbor or a friend of the family ultimately, called police to the house for a welfare check, and they found him, in his grandparents' house, just watching TV, their bodies down the hall.
Wow. So here to talk about the case, please welcome KPNX reporter and Locked Inside host Erica Stapleton. Thank you, Erica.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, Erica, let's get right into it, because how did a convicted killer end up living in this otherwise quaint neighborhood?
Well, that's a question that a lot of people had when this first came out, and we uncovered that this man who's accused of murder back in April of last year had a past double murder conviction already. So here in Arizona, that suspect actually pleaded guilty except insane to that earlier crime. And in Arizona, if a person pleads guilty except insane, they typically will go to Arizona State Hospital for treatment, not prison. So that's where he went, and he was under the purview of this state board that ultimately can make decisions about whether people could be released before their sentences are up, whether they're monitored in the community, or have more privileges on hospital grounds. So that's what happened with suspect Christopher Lambeth in this case, is that he was allowed to go live in the community several years before his sentence was even up.
So at what point did the system break down for him? Was it like way before that happened, before he was sent?
Well, I think in our reporting, we've uncovered that there were a lot of areas along the way that could have been remedied in different ways, or maybe could have had more careful attention that could have ultimately prevented what happened. And in this case, I think the ultimate failure was when the victim of this group home killing, Stephen Howells, died in the group home. These are state licensed group homes here in Arizona, and unfortunately, he wasn't kept safe in that environment. And these are homes that are supposed to be helping people with treatment and making sure they're, taking steps forward in their life, not ultimately ending them.
Right.
Well, you lead me to my question for you. In making Locked Inside, what did you learn about the holes in our mental health system? Because clearly that's all we've been talking about so far.
Yeah, and that's, essentially the whole story that we continue to uncover. And it seemed that, there wasn't just one problem. We found questions along the way in a lot of different areas. As I mentioned, this is a state licensed group home, and there were questions about the inspections that were done at this facility, and also about the quality of care that was being provided. And then you go back to that state board that ultimately released the suspect in this new case, Christopher Lambeth, to live in the community. There's criticism about that board as well. So there are just a lot of questions and red flags along the way that, as we continued our reporting, we uncovered there maybe could have been some changes or differences. Things could have gone very differently and should have.
Right. And Erica, thank you for bringing this story to light. Hopefully somehow changes can come from this. That's the goal, right? You can listen to Locked Inside, her podcast covering the case, or on any podcast streamer. We thank you for joining us today. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result? Many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Welcome back. We have some tips to help ease your stress and anxiety around making a fitness plan. That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Experts suggest focusing on why you want to improve your health. This will make your efforts less about vanity or subjective goals. Also experience patience. Most people will feel emotionally uplifted exactly 15 minutes and 9 seconds. It's very important to note the 9 seconds into their workout. Knowing this will allow you to look forward to the high of working out versus the low that can come with starting a fitness routine. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. So try their underdesk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We have a lot of comments in regard to the What's Up guy. Barbara says, I love these interviews. He's such a nice guy with a great personality that comes across. Carolyn says, there's very positive energy that comes from this guy.
Yeah, totally.
Are you talking about me or him?
No.
Al has to make everything about him, Mary Liz.
I don't have to make everything
I'm
about
here
me.
2 days and I can tell.
But I like when people lean into their fame, right?
Yeah,
Something that's a catchphrase, and he just accepts it, and he did it with all of us. Erica, good job. Way to get it out there.
I think you won. Yeah, Erica, that was impressive. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
But then you want to go back 20 years and cancel somebody for what they did? You know what? You're out of order.
I woke up and said, today is going to be a good day.
Yeah. At some point, you got to decide for yourself if you're going to stand up for what's wrong or what's right.
Like, are we living in Bizarro world? Sorry, I ran out of steam there.
I have to just push back on that. I think it's an okay conversation to have.
That's what really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way. I love this story.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A corrections officer is dead, and the inmate she disappeared with is back behind bars. The wild chase that crossed state lines, ending an 11-day search. Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? Continues with the Budweiser guy who made the "What's up" line super famous. And special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner is back, spilling behind-the-scenes secrets from her time on reality TV. What was Donald Trump like when the cameras stopped rolling?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We've got special guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You're such a well-oiled machine. Everybody works so well together, and you guys are so like sexy and funny, and you've got so much energy, and it's just great to be with you.
You know, Mary Lou, you, I feel like, are like the cherry on top. We missed not having like your perspective and everything, so you're just bringing out the best in us. We appreciate you. And Mary Lou's going to be here all week, by the way.
That's right. It's like that line from, what was it, Bronx Tale, Now You Can't Leave. Like, you're with us now. Yes, I like it.
You're not allowed to leave. So sorry. Okay, so here's a story that I can already see a lot of our viewers have an opinion on. I'm sure many of you have heard. After an 11-day manhunt, authorities caught up with the Alabama inmate, Casey White, who was captured alive, and the corrections officer, Vicky White, who is dead from a gunshot wound to the head. Now, a tip led to a police chase in Indiana, which ended after the couple's car crashed into a ditch. When police approached the car, Casey reportedly said, quote, "Help, my wife just shot herself." Casey's back behind bars right now and is waiting to be extradited to Alabama. Now, initially, police said Vicky shot herself in the car after the chase ended, but now at least one sheriff is suggesting that Casey was the one who pulled the trigger. What was all of your, I mean, you and I chatted a little bit in the green room. You had a lot to say. What was your initial thoughts when you heard this?
That he did it, no doubt. That she was the evidence, that, you know, and she could have plea bargained to like really tell the real story, and maybe there was like a Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing. I mean, you know, I really think he killed her, you know.
I'm going to take the other side just for the fact that I think there was some Stockholm Syndrome going on, but I think she knew she could never have her life back. Now she was, instead of bringing the prison guard, she was the one going to prison. She gave up all of her, everything she had, all of her money, all of her retirement, everything. Now she chose this life, and now it's the end.
But
and it was kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde moment.
Thing.
Like,
you know, that she could have said,
Mary Lou. We don't know what history he's had on manipulating her. We don't know if he coerced her. We don't know if he blackmailed her. I mean, she took care of her mom. Apparently, according to people that knew her, her mom was her everything. Why would she leave her mom? What if he threatened her mom?
Right.
But if her mom was her everything, that's something that you would structure your life around. And there wouldn't be a place, Erica's face, for, no, you're making a face because I agree. Look, there wouldn't be a place for somebody like this to slide into your life. My kids are my everything, so I'm not going to fall in love with an inmate.
Somebody who's like acting like he's madly in love with her, and she's got, you know, he's a big hunky guy and everything else. Come on.
But he didn't need to keep her quiet. He was already going back to prison for the rest of his life.
I know,
he had 11 days out.
I know.
He like had something to thank her for. I don't even think he needed to silence her in any way. That's where I'm confused.
She wanted the car clean. That's why. You know, maybe
and then also, Erica, and I'm dying to hear what Erica has to say. 4 guns were found. She had $29,000 left of the $90,000 from selling her home. And this was their 3rd car that they were on. What are you thinking, Erica?
Yeah, I don't think that it's exactly, you know, out of the realm of possibility that a murderer murdered someone else. That being said, I do also think about the idea of being that close with your mother, and I have made a lot of decisions in my life, not because it was going to be a detriment to me, but because I just couldn't have my mother find out, or my mother like be disappointed or hurt by my actions. So I feel like when you have that type of relationship with a parent, sometimes you make better decisions for your life because of the fear of destroying
Erica,
them.
I just wanted to say this. Oh, please.
No, please, go.
I just want to throw this at all you guys. Yes, we're talking about these two, but clearly, A lot of people knew. The inmates were saying there's clearly a relationship. He was getting extra food. They just wandered out the front door. You couldn't even do that here.
Well, they didn't wander out the front door. She put together a paper that made it look like she was going to take him to a healthcare appointment.
A healthcare appointment, and then she had one after that.
Yes.
And then they found out
But
that
should there
wasn't.
be things in place if everybody at least knows that there's something, there's a strange thing going on with this relationship? Are the other people involved, like in that office? Don't tell me the other officers weren't aware.
Yeah, but you also have to consider how common these relationships are. I don't think that this is the first time.
Escape at Dannemora.
Exactly, that there's someone who's actually incarcerated having an inappropriate relationship with someone who is supposed to be a correctional officer. So I don't know if it's that uncommon that people are like, ugh.
Al, it's prison. I was like, where's HR?
I'm just Al backed down so easily. Erica said her great point, and then Al's like, good point.
Well, she said he has a pattern of killing his girlfriends. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right on that too. So.
Well, I don't know if it was his girlfriends, but he's taken lives before.
Really
I don't mean to laugh
I
at
know,
that, but yeah.
Very sad. Coming up on DBL, you guys, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane will be here live. Is there anything she regrets from the show? Plus, Mary Lou is giving us the inside scoop on her reality TV days.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
it like working with Donald Trump on The Apprentice twice? And as we mentioned, Mary Lou is going to be here all week long. Do you have a question or a comment for her? Email info@dailyblastlive.com or find us on social media. Just search DBL.
Closed captioning provided by... Today on DBL, Erica Jane will be here live. Plus, we're continuing our series Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the Budweiser guy. That's today only on DBL.
Tell us about your time on Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah, so...
I was just making the point. I didn't mean to laugh about the pattern of murdering his girlfriend. The fact that when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good reason why I'm wrong. That's what I was laughing at. So just for the audience out there.
Third question. So Mary Lou did not only do Celebrity Apprentice, she also did Dancing with the Stars. How would she compare the two shows? All right. Al, you have the fourth question.
All right, so do you want to talk about that prison? So can't they just test, I watch too many 48 Hours, can't they test if there's gun residue on her finger versus his finger?
And nobody shoots themselves here. They said it was in the middle of the head. That's what I heard, to the head.
Okay.
People do this, whatever.
So I think eventually we'll find out, right? Who did it?
It's a heartball story.
It is
regardless.
very heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking.
Okay, but is it right?
And he looks a little, I hate to say this, except he's too young to play him. The bald things, he looks like Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh.
Pete Davidson, you think could play that guy?
No, he's too young. He's way too young. But there's something about the way
that
his
guy's
head
only 30.
sits on his neck.
Or Pete Davidson's pretty young.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is 28, 27.
I mean, is this going to be the things? I know this is Jeff's issue.
And that guy's only 38 or 39.
Is he?
Really?
But he's got to be tall.
Yeah, the prisoner?
55.
No, she's in her 60s. He's 38.
That's what I'm saying. He's 38, she's 54.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live a hard life.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, it is. And I love Pete Davidson, just so you know. I love Pete Davidson.
Yeah, but he's only 10 years younger than that guy.
Yeah, but he's too young. But I'm saying that would be a good part. There's time.
All right, it's day 2 of Mary Lou Henner Week. Yes.
I get a whole week named after me.
Yes. Did you guys know that Mary Lou was fired not once but twice? On a reality show, that is.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say this, but Mary Lou, you're fired. And you are a terrific woman. Get the hell out of here. Thank you.
All right, sorry, Mary Lou. I was so excited I jumped the gun on that little clip. But you got to tell us all about your time on Celebrity Apprentice, mainly my man Gary Busey.
Oh, Oh, well, Lisa Arena and I took turns being the Gary Busey whisperer. The Gary whisperer.
All right, you got to.
I was, and then when I switched to the other team, I mean, we'd have to do like a whole show on that craziness. But he's a lot of fun.
I'm like,
all right, yeah. You're here all week.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about Andy Kaufman. We could talk about Gary Busey.
Oh wow, I want to hear about.
Yes, a lot of them for sure. Well, it's interesting because I don't know if you had this. Well, you had cameras everywhere, but you were never even allowed to go to the bathroom unless there was a camera, like we're waiting outside the door, and you were mic'd all the time. And there was this one crazy thing that happened the first time I did the show where I lost a receipt, and I thought, oh no. So I said to Carol Alt, I said, I can't find the receipt. Pretty soon, like sharks, here come the cameras, dun 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 dun, dun, and they start circling you. And I thought, Mary Lou, come on, you got that memory and stuff. So I called the store and I went, okay, it was 7:03 at night. It was the third cash register from the doorway. There was a girl in a Hawaiian shirt. And all of a sudden they went, oh yeah, we found the receipt. And then they faxed it to us. And it was like, whew, and the cameras, dun it, as they all moved away. No privacy whatsoever. But I had a blast on that show. It was crazy. You find out who you are. Wouldn't you say that about doing a reality show?
Absolutely, yeah.
You find out what you're good at. You find out who's going to like. I mean, but the first one we did was 21 days, and there was only one day off for the New York Marathon. So people were dropping like flies.
I could see that.
It was crazy.
Let me ask you what I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. What was Donald Trump like off the cameras?
This is what I got almost every day. Mary Lou, if I took you to Vegas, could you count the cards?
I'm like, so what was your answer?
Yeah, me too. Could you do that?
Could you?
Maybe.
Ooh, we're going to Vegas.
I know. It's like, okay.
My next week will be in Vegas.
And then just to follow up really quick, because we have a lot of our viewers writing in. Apparently, Elon Musk, it was just announced that he would reverse Twitter's ban on Donald Trump. What do you feel about that?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay,
no,
that's enough.
Please.
Got
that's
it.
enough.
Okay.
That's a lot. Well, what's the deal with the pros and like how do they act?
Oh, you mean on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So it was a completely different experience. But they were both really hard.
I was actually reading the question like, what does that mean? That was my fault. Sorry, producers.
Yeah. Totally different. Totally different. One is exhausting. They're both exhausting physically. I lost I'm 120 pounds, always between 117, 122. I got down to 110, 111 in like a short period of time because it was like so physical. And, it was like mentally challenging. They both were. I grew up in a dancing school. So, I'll tell you something. I sing a song in my club act because I do a show, and I do a whole tribute to Dancing with the Stars to the Kander and Ebb song called Pain. Why don't they mention the pain? And you'll see some pictures. I think I gave them some photographs because I started taking pictures of all the different bruises and everything. And I sing a line that's like, graphic content.
Uh-oh.
These were taken while I was doing the show. It was like triage. It was crazy. People's ribs were taped. You had they didn't even show you the bad ones. Those are Derek Huff's fingerprints.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it. It was worth it because I like things to challenge myself. Bad behavior fascinates me in people, so I always like to understand the pathology of people and work with them and stuff like that. So it was worth it.
Before we go, we need to hear more about your show really quick.
Okay, I'm doing it in 5 different places over the next month and a half, and so I hope people come and see it. I'm doing it at 54 Below. I'm doing it at Fire Island over Memorial Weekend, and I'm also doing it on at Feinstein's at Vitello's in Los Angeles, and it's so much fun. Production numbers, great dancers, really fun.
That is so cool. Make sure that you guys check that out. And also coming up on DBL, Erica Jane from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be here live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate. So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane. They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't let her pretty face fool you. She's also pretty tough and says the strongest substance on earth isn't a diamond, it's actually her. Beverly Hills housewife Erica Jane joins us live. Hey, Erica. So first and foremost, we got our celebrity guest co-host Mary Lou Henner here. You got a question about Broadway for her.
Yes. So Erica, you and I not only both know Lisa Rinna, but also we both did Chicago. I was like the first person in. I know you did it. Did you have a great time? And was it always a dream of yours to be on Broadway and to play that part?
Number one, it was always a dream of mine to be on Broadway. It was such an honor to be in a Fosse show because I just love everything about Fosse. Love Lisa Rinna, love you. And so that was, yes. And that was practice. I feel like every performer should really go do a musical and then call yourself a performer because that is 8 shows a week brutality. And it is wonderful. Best time of my life.
Bravo.
Speaking of Bravo, I'm a Bravo-holic.
Well played.
The Bravo-holic on the show. So I am curious because obviously we know you from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's how us Bravo-holics do. So with everything that's going on, you know, from your personal life last season to this, are you having any second thoughts about being a reality TV star?
No, because a lot of great things have come with it as well. And I think that when you put it on balance, there have been more positive than negative. Yes, this is a tough time in my life, but I'll get through it. And I think that there's more positive things on the horizon.
So most of the cast faced some hard times this season, plus some difficult moments with each other. Is there a specific moment that maybe you regret the most?
Well, I could give you a list.
Good answer.
I think what I regret the most is becoming frustrated and raising my voice and then not being able to explain myself the way I should. And that happens. But that's part of the game as well, and I have to roll with that. You know, I know the truth, and I know what I'm trying to say, and that will come forward.
Yeah, you know, listen, we're all looking forward to see what happens. Now, who from the Beverly Hills cast are you currently friends with?
I'm friends with most of them. Yeah, but here's the thing about Housewives. Just like in life, you're closer with certain people than you are others just because you may connect on different levels. And, you know, we do have beef with each other that hopefully gets resolved. So right now, maybe I'm not so close to like 3 of them, but I'm close to the others.
I feel that. Now, it's weird. I get this question a lot because I've been doing stand-up forever. So I'm going to ask you, because everybody goes, what's your favorite city? If you had to join another housewife cast, which city would you move to? Because I know I'm going to New Orleans.
I'm going home to Atlanta.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's what's up. ATL. I'm here for it.
Wait, you joining Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because that's the tea.
What did you say?
Is that the tea? Give us the tea.
I said the tea because if you join Real Housewives of Atlanta, I would change my whole schedule.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. 0 to 18. So that's like my whole family's there, and so I would just be going home.
Yeah, and all the old boyfriends would be coming out. The teacher.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah.
And for a viewer, let's hope so.
I know,
and for the viewer, yeah.
Erica, have you ever brought this up to Andy Cohen? Do you think that you could ever make the switch to Atlanta?
You know, my life is in Los Angeles. I think Candy the other day said she gave a few people that if they could come to Atlanta, and I was one of them. You know, I don't see myself going home, but, you know, never say never. Watch me be moving next week.
I know, right? And if Candy gave her blessing, I mean,
I was going to say, if Candy's your ally,
yeah,
that's all you need.
You know what, Candy, Kenya, those women, they've been very kind to me and very supportive during this time. And so thank you to the, you know, and, you know, there have been a lot of people that have been really kind.
Well, thank you, Erica. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, you can catch the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Wednesday nights on Bravo. We'll be right back. Thanks, Erica.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS Free File service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result, many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS Free File service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the Free File program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Tomorrow on DBL, Mary Lou Henner is back as our special guest co-host. She's revisiting her time as Roxy in Chicago on Broadway with her friend and co-star Ben Vereen. And we're continuing our week-long series, Classic Commercial Stars, Where Are They Now? With the longest-running Doublemint twins. That's tomorrow, only on DBL. Welcome back. Okay, have you all heard about this? This is crazy. The West mega drought is causing reservoirs to dry up, and in Lake Mead near Vegas, authorities are discovering human remains. So one set was found in a rusted barrel stuck in the mud. Ooh. Authorities believe the man had probably been shot in the mid-70s. A few days later, human bones were found on a newly surfaced sandbar. A former Las Vegas mayor has suggested that what we are seeing are the secrets from the Vegas mob past coming to light. Yeah, which are likely to include more dead bodies. But if you're curious to know who killed notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, the former mayor said, don't bet your mortgage. That's such a Vegas mayor thing to say, right?
I think more than anything is blowing up the rumor that like they would dig ditches and bury people. I think maybe we just had some lazy gangsters. They were like, just put them in the lake, it'll be fine. It's a really weird place. I think we're gonna find a lot of guns. Yeah. I think we're gonna find a lot of abandoned vehicles, and I think we're gonna find a lot of skeletons down there. Because I don't think anybody ever thought that anybody would see was at the bottom of that lake or any lake.
And jewelry. I think we're going to find a lot of jewelry.
A lot of wedding rings.
Wedding rings, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I thought this was like not as shocking because I would always hear things like swim with the fishes and cement shoes. Like, isn't that what that meant? We weren't seeing it in my house.
Well, maybe I just thought it was the desert, so I thought maybe they had to dig
go
dishes.
To your room, just
swim with the fishes.
Roosevelt comes out, swim with the fishes with cement shoes. Yikes! You love mob stuff.
I don't know what the attraction is, but I think a lot of people are fascinated with all that stuff, right? So when you see things like this, the old time gangsters, that was Vegas. That's how Vegas kind of got introduced, right?
Absolutely.
I think it was the Stardust. It was Bugsy Siegel and his guys. I don't mean to know too much about it, but I'm really into that stuff. So even though it's dead bodies and stuff, it's kind of gross. People are like fascinated by it.
We're fascinated, but I don't think anyone is surprised.
No.
Have you always loved Vegas?
Yes, and I did Chicago there, to bring it up again. And they had to drag me kicking and screaming there, and then I got there. I had the best time. They had to drag me kicking and screaming away from it.
How long did you stay?
Vegas
I did it for the summer with my 2 little boys. It was fantastic.
Can we see a Vegas residency in the future?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, I really appreciate it now. And it was, the audiences were great and everything else. But it's pretty crazy there. I mean, it's a mentality. I've shot movies there and everything else. It's a whole different world.
I love when I'm on the plane to Vegas, I'm like, Vegas! And then 2 days later, I'm like, I'm never coming back. I hate this place.
That just means you're right.
The way home is.
And whenever you have a private conversation with somebody and it's like, okay, no, you don't, we say, okay, this is Vegas, baby. You know, it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, my husband went with these two. I still wonder what happened in Vegas.
It's a very relaxing man trip.
You might find it at the bottom of the river.
All right, if you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. We're continuing our classic commercial stars, Where Are They Now series with one of the iconic Budweiser guys who made that "What's Up" phrase.
Made the what now?
I tried. And Grey's Anatomy of Love, Jesse Williams goes viral. We're going to tell you why it has to do with a nude pic.
Time it was considered our way out of the pandemic, but 2 years in, let's verify. Are we still aiming for herd immunity against COVID-19? Our sources are 2 top infectious disease doctors, Dr. Amish Indulja and Dr. William Schaffner. Diseases like polio and measles are not the public health threat they used to be because of a community immunity to them.
With herd immunity, we have viruses that are usually pretty stable, and once you get infected or get vaccinated, you have long-term protection.
However, this coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, plays by different rules.
The virus mutates in a way that gets around our immune system.
Meaning the virus changes too often for the herd's immunity to keep up.
This virus comes from a family of viruses that routinely reinfect us every year and cause 25 to 30% of our common colds. So we don't have herd immunity to other common cold-causing viruses. So it's unlikely to have herd immunity against this type of a coronavirus.
There is still power in numbers, especially the previously infected and vaccinated ones.
It's harder for this virus to be able to cause severe disease, hospitalization, and death at the rate that it once did, because it's increasingly running into people who have immunity against those severe outcomes.
But it will probably require reinforcing that immunity, like with vaccines.
This is a protection that we're going to have to renew periodically.
So we can verify no.
So the notion of herd immunity has been largely put aside, at the moment.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We still got Mary Lou Henner here. She's here with us all week. So lucky to have her.
Love you guys.
We love you. Okay, so Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams was just nominated for a Tony Award, but everyone is talking about him for a very different reason. During a performance of his Broadway play, and we know you're no stranger to Broadway, Mary Lou.
Yeah.
So this Broadway play, Take Me Out. Well, someone took photos of Jesse nude on stage. The full frontal pics were posted all over social media yesterday and were taken during a shower scene of the play. According to the theater's website, spectators were required to put their phones in a sealed case during the show, so this didn't happen. Well, Jesse has not spoken publicly about the leak, but he did talk about performing nude on Watch What Happens Live, which I know you've also been on. Check it out.
Everybody makes such a big deal. It's a body.
Right.
That doesn't. Once you see it, you realize it's not. Whatever.
Your mom was like,
it's
just
a
how I left
body.
it.
Yeah. He's like, it didn't grow at all. Okay.
That's
like,
true. But
it's not.
on the
I just
other
have
hand,
to not make it
true. But on the
Maybe he took the picture.
Maybe he
like Andy?
No.
Andy.
Yeah, like Jesse Williams had someone take a picture if it doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
No, do you think like this was somehow put out by his team? Is that what you're referencing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm making a joke. But,
Oh, okay.
you know, they do collect the cell phones and they put them in little baggies and no people don't get them back. So I'm surprised that this happened. I'm actually more surprised that it hasn't happened sooner.
Right.
You know,
I think people
and maybe they want to
started
make
taking two phones. But my question for you, Mary Lou, is you've done Broadway, so you're a perfect person to ask for this. You get the script, there's a nude scene similar to this, you agree to do it. Is there a part of you that expects that even though they're going to put the phones away, that there will be a picture that leaks? Is there a part that realistically, not saying it's right, but like when you sign your name, are you saying this will probably happen?
Well, I've done nude scenes in movies, and I actually did one on stage, but it was like pre, iPhone, so that's good. But do you know that when Nicole Kidman was on Broadway, they charged extra money for the seats where you can get like a full shot of her.
Wow.
And it was a side thing, but.
Makes sense. I mean,
so maybe there's more to this story than
interesting. I also think it's interesting, Erica. There always seems to be, and this could be me painting with a broad brush. A female would react, in my opinion, a lot differently than a male. Maybe I'm generalizing.
No, I do think that in society we feel that way because we have so much experience with that, right? But I do think that Jesse's a serious actor. If I had to speculate on it, I wouldn't think that he would do this just for publicity. No. He's gotten a lot of attention for things outside of his craft already, and I think a lot of times when actors go back to, or decide to do Broadway, it's also like kind of giving them a little bit of more credibility.
Yeah.
Right. So for this to happen, I really don't believe that anyone in his camp did that. And I don't know if he's going to feel some type of way about it, but I think that kind of sucks. I feel like it's kind of
also he's on Watch What Happens Live, probably knocking back a couple.
Right.
So he's like glib and so, he didn't say this after.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so former Charlie's Angels star Jaclyn Smith is getting a lot of attention over a recent post on social media. The actress, who is 76, recently posted this pic on Instagram, looking flawless, with some wondering if it's the result of good lighting, good genes, maybe a filter. She was best known, of course, for playing Kelly Garrett on Charlie's Angels. Here she is next to a photo of her from more than 40 years ago. What do you think about appearing ageless online?
Well, first of all, I have met her, and I was at a thing recently, like a couple years ago, pre-COVID. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She looks flawless. She's the kind of person that is so beautiful that when you're talking to her, you almost want to like block her face a little so you can hear what she's saying, because otherwise you're like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful.
Right.
Wow. So yeah, she's, but who cares? She definitely has good genes, and that's a good filter.
I know, she's great.
And is it wrong to want to look your best?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like now we're just kind of going after a certain demographic of people that are a little bit older and asking them questions about if they've had enhancements, asking if they've had surgery. But like we don't ask a 31-year-old that or a 26-year-old that, especially when it seems like there's money behind them. And if they want to get that, have at it.
I hear you, but we do comment on the Kardashians. We do comment on people over-filtering that are in their 30s, and I will always stand by that. I think if you do over-filter, that's fine, that's on you, but I think that there should be some sort of, I know they do this in other countries, like a logo or something that shows it's been filtered so our teens understand that this unrealistic image is not attainable.
Do you want that on like a food commercial? Should Burger King have to do that? Say we touched up?
They already have regulations on food commercials.
I just assume that like when you see advertising, you understand that it's been touched up.
Not every teen thinks that.
And it also, I guess you would have to define what advertising is, because is social media advertising? Like we have, especially when we're talking about women of a certain age, I know I've heard from a lot of, people that I truly admire who are really fed up with explaining why they look the way that they look at the age that they are. Yeah. And I think if
no dairy here for
well, I mean, and maybe I'll do the same.
It works for Mary Lou.
But I think that why can't we just celebrate like, oh wow, she looks great, regardless of what it is? Because I just think that we're kind of over that conversation at this point. I think we should know better.
I'd rather look like a catcher's mitt than give up cheese.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Jeff could not.
Yeah, Jeff would be like a pillow. No, catcher's mitt is the sun.
Whatever.
Coming up on DBL, I just have one word to give you a clue as to who our next guest is. What's up?
He's laughing at him.
One of the guys who made Beverly famous in the Budweiser commercial. Clearly why he was cast and not someone like me is here live. There he is. We're going to talk to him next.
Closed captioning provided by
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Oh, he's totally on board.
Yeah. Like the McLovin mind.
Yeah. Oh, and he actually
First thing I asked her, does he mind? And no, he doesn't.
Because on the call, I was like, oh man, I got it. Because like that actor McLovin we had on one time, I'm like, what's the best part of COVID? He goes, people don't just scream McLovin at me when I walk down the street.
No, he says even people who come up to him drunk in a bar, because he says it still comes from a place of love, so it's like, because it makes people laugh.
All right,
so he's
cool.
Totally
I'm glad
into
he's cool with it.
This commercial is old, so I mean, it's given him a career.
Yeah. Jeff, you have the first question. Asking kind of like how this commercial came to be, because it's actually like was a phrase that they used in high school.
Okay.
And so then you'll ask if they still say it together, because they're all still friends today. Everyone in that commercial is friends.
That's really cool.
So if they still use it today, he is kind of funny thing.
Okay.
And it's Dookie?
Dookie. Yep. So Al, you have the second. What was it like to work with your friends? Because they're all friends in the commercial. Erica, you have the third. Do people yell what's up at you on the street, and like what's your favorite fan encounter you've had? And then Mary Lou, you have the fourth one. Does it ever get old?
Yeah.
Hearing what's up, being like the what's up guy.
Sure.
And then Sam, how did this change your life?
Okay.
So.
And Toss to follow him on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook.
Mary Lou, do
Yep.
you have something that people always remember you by, and you're like, I've done a million
It's
things?
funny. I mean, first it was Taxi, then it was all the health books I've written, and now it's memory. People stop me and give me their dates and blah blah blah. And so the people on 60 Minutes said, this is going to change your life.
You know what really struck me with the 60 Minutes interview was like, you could tell how serious those guys were.
Oh, yeah.
And when it ended,
I mean, less than 100 people
like
in
he
the
would
world?
not give it up. He just goes, impressive. And you know, for that man
He
to
was
say
dying
that,
inside.
that guy, he was trying to, like, what was it, 7 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was like 9 hours that day. It was crazy. And the testing is ongoing. I did some like not long ago. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Hey guys, no rejoin.
They taught us that a simple hi or hey was boring, and they gave us one of the most memorable greetings of all time. Today, we're chatting with one of the stars from this iconic commercial. Take a look.
Hello? What's that? Yeah. Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie!
Yo.
What's that? was that? Hold on. Hello?
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
Scott Brooks, a.k.a. Dookie, to the show.
First of all, I want to say I was not laughing at her. I was laughing with her. Okay, let's put that straight.
It's okay if you're laughing at me. I'm used to it.
But Dookie, since you're here, I gotta give you one. What's that? You gotta commit. You gotta commit. So that greeting is actually something you did with your friends years before Budweiser got its hands on it. How did this commercial even come to be? That's so interesting.
Okay, so growing up, my best friend was a guy named Charles Stone, and he was a music video director, but he wanted to get into the feature film world. So he made a short film that was kind of going to be like his calling card so that he could get into the feature film world. And it was entered into some film festivals, and people started seeing it. And since this was like, you know, the late 90s, before the internet and YouTube, people were making copies of the videotape back in the bootleg tape day and sending it around and giving it to their friends and everything. And one of the ad execs from DDB in Chicago saw the video and called him and said, yo, we want to turn this into a Budweiser commercial.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, you guys are all still friends. Do you still say that to each other, or you're like, listen, Doug, enough? I don't know if any of your friends are named Doug.
I wouldn't say we like, listen, that's enough. No, we would never say that. But I mean, like, that was something we actually used to do with each other back in our teens and 20s. So when Charles was going to make the short film, he actually told me, he's like, it's about that thing we used to do back in the day, you know? So yeah.
That's so cool.
So now we do other silly stuff now when we see each other.
Ooh, coming soon.
Yeah. Mary Lou, you were going to say
No, I
something?
was going to say, did you have to audition, or did your friend just have you do the part? Because you guys were,
Okay,
you know.
here's the funny thing. Hi, Mary Lou, first of all, big fan.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was not in the short film. So when Anheuser-Busch spoke to him and said, we want to, you know, turn this into the commercial, he called me. I was working as a bouncer in a nightclub in Philly. So he called me and he's like, listen, we're holding auditions. Get up here and audition.
Whoa.
So I did. I came up and I auditioned, and I ended up getting the part of Dookie. So
Yes. That's awesome. It's appropriate, you know, that would happen. Now, do people yell?
Come on, you got to give it. You got to give it.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
You got to do it.
Come on.
Did
Come
people
on.
yell, what's that? Yes, that's going to be on my highlight reel. To you on the street. And do you have a favorite fan encounter?
People still, you know, when they recognize me, which isn't as often as it used to be, but every now and then they surprise me. And now, back in the day, yeah, they just used to run up right in my ear, yell, ah! Now it's a quiet thing. They quietly, you know, sidle up next to me and go like, what's that? And let me know that they know it's me. I actually, this is 100% true. I actually had a woman tell me that her child's first words were, what's up?
No.
I could see that.
That's so funny. Because I was telling them,
Absolutely.
my boys are 26 and 27 now, but when the commercial came out, they were
Okay.
little, and they would do that. What's up?
It's perfect for little children.
You know, Mary Lou was like, if I
perfect
ever
for
meet
little
the guy that
children.
did that, and here you are right now.
I know, it's kismet. For sure.
Sorry,
Does it
I
ever get tired?
apologize.
Does it ever get old for you to have somebody do that, or do you like love it?
See, here's the thing, and this is what I've always said from day one. We could have gotten famous for something that everybody hated. You know, then we'd have people coming up and punching us in the face and kicking us in the shin. But it's love. It's all love. So when people do it, they do it from a place of, you know, love. And so it's great.
Well
It's great. I love
said.
it.
Well said, Scott. So
What a
how
great guy.
did this commercial change your life, you and your friends' lives?
Well, it completely changed my life. I I was working as a nightclub bouncer, and then I was a working actor, and not just a working actor, but I was literally world famous, so, and it just, everything snowballed from there. I hosted a television show on ABC. I've done other commercials, I've done movies, I've done other television. Yeah, so it just completely changed my life.
So cool. It really is.
I have a really quick question. I just want to know, what was the one moment, the first time you were like, oh, this is something?
Right.
Because you didn't have the internet to look at numbers. Was somewhere you're like, oh, this is a thing?
Okay. So our PR person got us into the Grammys that year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was in 2000. So we walked the red carpet.
Wow.
So we're walking up and down the red carpet, and nobody wanted to talk to us because they had no idea who we were, because this was early on in the commercials, run. So we were going up and down like that press aisle, and nobody wanted to talk to us. So we were just like, forget it. Let's just go into the Grammys. So we started walking up the red carpet into the Grammys. And they have those bleachers set up? I never knew that. So all of a sudden you heard, yo, Duke, what's up? And then the whole bleachers lit up with the what's up. And then all of a sudden, all of the press was like, come back, come back, come back. And then they all wanted to interview us.
That's awesome, man.
So I was like,
great
guy.
Oh, okay. The fans spoke up.
Yeah.
We so appreciate
Yeah.
you, DBL Nation. Be sure to follow Scott on Facebook. Thank you,
Awesome,
Scott,
man.
for taking us down a trip down memory
was so
lane.
cool.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hey, everybody.
Thanks, man.
If you've got
Delta Airlines made headlines last month when it announced it would begin paying flight attendants for their time while boarding an aircraft. Some social media users said they thought flight attendants were always paid during this time. So let's verify. Do most airlines pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane? Our sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Delta Airlines, and union contracts for flight attendants at American, United, and Southwest Airlines. The union contracts base flight attendants' hourly pay on block time or flight time. Each airline defines this period slightly differently, but it's basically the time from when the plane leaves the gate until it arrives at its destination and stops at the gate. This means when a plane is boarding or passengers are disembarking, flight attendants are not technically being paid their hourly rate. So, no, most airlines do not pay flight attendants for their time while boarding and disembarking a plane. They do receive a small per diem based on the entire time they're on duty to help pay for meals. The BLS estimates full-time flight attendants fly about 75 to 100 hours per month, and the median person earns nearly $62,000 a year. Delta says starting on June 2nd, it will start paying them a flat rate worth between 35 and 50 minutes of their hourly pay for boarding. The Association of Flight Attendants is trying to unionize Delta's workers and claimed credit for this new policy.
There's also an ongoing Change.org petition with more than 170,000 signatures demanding all airlines pay crew while boarding.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Just over 1 year ago today, first responders were called to a group home and found one resident washing away blood in the shower. Now, a new podcast investigating the murder case is also exposing holes in the justice and mental health systems along the way. Take a look.
At one time, things seemed pretty good for Stephen Howells.
The thing that I always remember is his smile.
But life would become more challenging for Howells after he started experiencing delusions. He ended up living in a group home just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. But Stephen Howells would never get the chance to leave. On April 12, 2021, first responders were called to that home on a quiet street in Gilbert, Arizona, where they'd find another resident, Christopher Lambeth, washing away blood in the shower.
I worried about things like that happening, but I worried about it on the street, not in someplace that's supposed to keep them safe.
It's not clear why Stephen Howells was living at Tilde Manor, but records show his accused killer, Christopher Lambeth, had been living there since at least 2018.
Back when he was a teenager, we learned through court documents that he, had been diagnosed with some mental health issues and had been receiving treatment, but ultimately went to live with his grandparents in a community outside of Tucson. And at some point during that time, he killed both of his grandparents. He brutally stabbed them to death. A neighbor or a friend of the family ultimately, called police to the house for a welfare check, and they found him, in his grandparents' house, just watching TV, their bodies down the hall.
Wow. So here to talk about the case, please welcome KPNX reporter and Locked Inside host Erica Stapleton. Thank you, Erica.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, Erica, let's get right into it, because how did a convicted killer end up living in this otherwise quaint neighborhood?
Well, that's a question that a lot of people had when this first came out, and we uncovered that this man who's accused of murder back in April of last year had a past double murder conviction already. So here in Arizona, that suspect actually pleaded guilty except insane to that earlier crime. And in Arizona, if a person pleads guilty except insane, they typically will go to Arizona State Hospital for treatment, not prison. So that's where he went, and he was under the purview of this state board that ultimately can make decisions about whether people could be released before their sentences are up, whether they're monitored in the community, or have more privileges on hospital grounds. So that's what happened with suspect Christopher Lambeth in this case, is that he was allowed to go live in the community several years before his sentence was even up.
So at what point did the system break down for him? Was it like way before that happened, before he was sent?
Well, I think in our reporting, we've uncovered that there were a lot of areas along the way that could have been remedied in different ways, or maybe could have had more careful attention that could have ultimately prevented what happened. And in this case, I think the ultimate failure was when the victim of this group home killing, Stephen Howells, died in the group home. These are state licensed group homes here in Arizona, and unfortunately, he wasn't kept safe in that environment. And these are homes that are supposed to be helping people with treatment and making sure they're, taking steps forward in their life, not ultimately ending them.
Right.
Well, you lead me to my question for you. In making Locked Inside, what did you learn about the holes in our mental health system? Because clearly that's all we've been talking about so far.
Yeah, and that's, essentially the whole story that we continue to uncover. And it seemed that, there wasn't just one problem. We found questions along the way in a lot of different areas. As I mentioned, this is a state licensed group home, and there were questions about the inspections that were done at this facility, and also about the quality of care that was being provided. And then you go back to that state board that ultimately released the suspect in this new case, Christopher Lambeth, to live in the community. There's criticism about that board as well. So there are just a lot of questions and red flags along the way that, as we continued our reporting, we uncovered there maybe could have been some changes or differences. Things could have gone very differently and should have.
Right. And Erica, thank you for bringing this story to light. Hopefully somehow changes can come from this. That's the goal, right? You can listen to Locked Inside, her podcast covering the case, or on any podcast streamer. We thank you for joining us today. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The company that owns TurboTax has reached a settlement with state attorneys general from across the country in a case that accuses the company of tricking taxpayers into paying for unnecessary products. Millions of TurboTax users are now eligible to receive checks. So if you're eligible, do you need to file any sort of claim to get that check? Here are the sources we went to for answers. The text of the settlement, the attorneys general of New York and Maryland, and Intuit, the company that owns TurboTax. The simple answer, no, you don't need to do anything. The payments will go out automatically. The attorneys general have said anyone who qualifies will receive a notice in the mail and direct payments of $30 for each year they paid for TurboTax when they didn't have to. So who qualifies? The heart of the case is that for many years, TurboTax had two products labeled as free. They had one service that was part of the federal IRS Free File program, and then they had another product called TurboTax Free Edition. IRS Free File is available to anyone making under $73,000 a year, no matter how complicated their returns are. TurboTax Free Edition doesn't have an income cap, but it has a different restriction. It's only actually free if you're filing what the company dubs a simple return. So what happened is millions of people used the free edition, spent time putting their personal info into the software, and then were suddenly told their return was too complicated to be free. Instead of then directing those customers to the IRS free file service, TurboTax directed them to their paid products. The result? Many people who could have filed for free with the IRS shelled out for a premium version of TurboTax they didn't need. If you're one of those people, you're eligible for a $30 check for every year you paid between tax years 2016, 17, and 18. The lawsuits also say TurboTax actively hid their IRS free file service from search results. Intuit has since withdrawn from the free file program, and a statement from the company says they are admitting no wrongdoing in the settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
The federal government is spending billions to capture carbon. Let's connect the dots. President Biden's infrastructure law takes aim at reducing carbon emissions, which is a primary cause for climate change. The U.S. Department of Energy has $2.3 billion at its disposal to spend on carbon capture. That's when machines pull carbon dioxide emissions from the industrial processes, then store them deep underground. They say it's not a long-term solution, but any effort to reduce carbon right now is worth the effort. Carbon capture technology is in its very early stages and remains quite expensive. The closest the U.S. has to a financial incentive right now is a small tax credit. The Energy Secretary says the real driver of carbon capture technology will have to come from the private sector. She says the U.S. has a goal of being net zero by 2050, but admits fossil fuels will be a major part of the economy for years to come. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Daily Blast Live is always focused, always ready, always on cue, always timely. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day. Welcome back. We have some tips to help ease your stress and anxiety around making a fitness plan. That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Experts suggest focusing on why you want to improve your health. This will make your efforts less about vanity or subjective goals. Also experience patience. Most people will feel emotionally uplifted exactly 15 minutes and 9 seconds. It's very important to note the 9 seconds into their workout. Knowing this will allow you to look forward to the high of working out versus the low that can come with starting a fitness routine. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. So try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We have a lot of comments in regard to the What's Up guy. Barbara says, I love these interviews. He's such a nice guy with a great personality that comes across. Carolyn says, there's very positive energy that comes from this guy.
Yeah, totally.
Are you talking about me or him?
No.
Al has to make everything about him, Mary Liz.
I don't have to make everything
I'm
about
here
me.
2 days and I can tell.
But I like when people lean into their fame, right?
Yeah,
something that's a catchphrase, and he just accepts it, and he did it with all of us. Erica, good job.
Yeah.
Way to get it out there.
I think you won. Yeah, Erica, that was impressive. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how, that's local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
But you want to go back 20 years and cancel somebody for what they did? You know what? You're out of order.
I woke up and said, today is going to be a good day.
Yes. At some point, you got to decide for yourself if you're going to stand up for what's wrong or what's right.
Like, are we living in Bizarro world? Sorry, I ran out of steam there.
I have to just push back on that. I think it's an okay conversation to have.
That's what really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way. I love this story.